In the event of emergency, if you're in the gallery, please use the main stairs down to the entrance.
Well, good morning and welcome everyone. Welcome to a rather dull and grey Aberdeen. We had a lot of rain here overnight, but we're here in the pool, in the aquatic centre, here at the Aberdeen Sports Village, and looking forward to day 2 of Scottish National Age Groups. My name's Lynn Alderton and I'm here with Robert. Welcome Robert, and welcome to you who are joining us on the live stream. We just got the health and safety announcement coming on, and the racing will get underway. What are you looking forward to this morning, Robert?
Yes, Lynn, I'm actually looking forward to some butterfly today. It's nice to have our 200 butterfly swimmers taking part. Kieran Lennox and Tom Robertson will be going head to head again. Interested to see how Kieran does after last night's exciting finals that we had.
It was super, wasn't it? So we've got some 200 breaststroke for girls, 200 butterfly for boys, 100 metres backstroke for girls, 50 metres breaststroke for boys, 400 metres individual medley for girls, and then 400 metres freestyle for boys, followed up by lots of some medley relays.
Yeah.
No distance events this morning, also no 800 and 1500 freestyle.
So as you say, Lynn, this is the only day that we don't have any distance events. That will be replicated this afternoon, so we don't have to worry about the lap cards for our officials poolside, so they get a day off.
Indeed they do. So our senior officials that we've got running the meet this morning, we've got Bill Brash and Fiona Stennett. No, we haven't. We've got Derno Jessamine and Susan Coe, and our starters are Colin Matthews and Carol McInnes, and we get underway with the 200 metres breaststroke. There are 9 heats of this. In the first heat, Kimberly Willis, Victoria Weir, Aileen McNichol, Caitlin Urquhart, Amelie McCusker, Kira Anderson, Aileen Arona, Manon Shembry and Iona Connolly to get us underway first thing this morning.
And just quickly reiterate that new ruling. The swimmers used to be technically disqualified if they were totally submerged at the finish. That has now changed. Once the head goes beyond that flag, as you can see there, that 5 metre flag, they can be totally submerged beyond that point, as long as the head's gone beyond that.
We're swimming breaststroke though, Robert.
We are, but that's for the backstroke, which follows.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to the backstroke. Breaststroke, not sure what the delay is. I think the officials want to start on time.
Just give you a wee update on points, Lynn.
Oh yes, let's go ahead.
If you'd like to read out from 10th to 1st, this is after day 1.
So yes, after day 1, in very important team championships, the 10th place team is South Lanarkshire with 73 points. In 9th place we have Dumfries with 74 points. The University of Aberdeen Performance are in 7th place with 85 points. Aberdeen Dolphins have 89 points, and Stirling Swimming just above them with 107. Tight between Stirling Swim and East Lothian, who are in 4th place with 109. In 3rd place, Perth City Swimming Club, 127 points. Warren de Bath Club have 217 points, but way out in front at the moment. In 1st place, it's the City of Glasgow swim team with 309. So quite a big gap between the first 2 and the rest, but really nip and tight all the way down to 10th place.
Yeah, and after that 10th place, as you say, Lynn, the 11th club is Geary. They're sitting on 43. There's a total of 50 clubs on the list at the moment. So there's quite a wee gap between 11th and 10th, so some of these clubs might make a move over the next few days, but they've a bit to make up to get into that top 10. So that's where we are with yesterday's positions.
Yep, lots of relays today though, Robert, and relays are double points. So
double points indeed.
Lots of potential there.
And that's why they're in 96, who I think are sitting about 12th, 13th. They finished 3rd in one of the relays, and that would have given them some extra points.
after day one.
So
Through the top 10 in
this one says, I don't know why there is a very slight delay. It might be some technical issues downstairs.
place 74 points, Dumfries.
Just to reiterate, the top 10 in each age group, that's 15, 16 and 17 stroke 18, all qualify for the finals this evening. The 400s will also be the top 10. The 15 and overs all swim 400 and are not heat declared winners. This afternoon that will change. They'll win. The younger swimmers will do the 400, but they will actually not swim in the evening. It will be a heat declared event. So we'll be doing medal presentations in the afternoon. I think there probably will be medal presentations at the end for the relays though, Lynn.
Yes, relay presentations went well yesterday, but we've got that's the whistles from the referee. So the first race about to get underway. I've already read out the names and looking forward to this, our first heat. So our first 10 swimmers very tight on entry times and underway fairly evenly, although quite nice start there in lane 4. Our fastest seed Emily McCusker from City of Glasgow, and a change to lane 9. Hannah Lindsay goes from South Lanarkshire, so we've got a reserve in there. That's great, and she's making the best of her opportunity with a lane and is vying for the lead over in lane 9, and it's the outside lanes at the moment.
We had a bit of that yesterday, Lynn. Yeah, we had to keep our wits about us.
Yeah, lane 0 leading them out at the moment. South Ayrshire's Kimberly Willis, first to the turn, 38.65, so a full 2 seconds ahead of in second place Aileen McNichol, 38.65.
Outside lane.
A good start there. South Ayrshire so often have some quality breaststrokers. Robert, you work in the West?
Yes, they certainly, we had yesterday Charlotte Hardy and Ailey Robertson 1-2. I think that was the 50 breast that we had at the end of the session. But historically they've had some very good breaststrokers going back a few years. Cameron Muir, you probably remember the name, Lynn.
I do.
And of course Ailey Robertson's older sisters, Katie and Erin, excellent breaststrokers. So 126.54 for Kimberly.
So Kimberly swam this event in the pre-snags meet that the West District holds, and she came 6th there, but 3:06.2 her entry time. So looking to improve on that. I think the girls alongside her are catching. She set off really at a very fast pace. She's still got a full body length or so ahead of the swimmers alongside her, Victoria Weir and Aileen McNichol. It's still lane 0, that outside lane.
Well, she has a slight chance of maybe getting pretty close to that 3-minute mark, Lynn.
I would say so. I think those barriers are always a good motivational tool.
Yeah.
And yet they do prove elusive so often. And a lovely turn there and some great underwater work from in lane 2, Aileen McNichol from Glen Rothes. And between these three on the near side and coming up alongside her in lane 3, Caitlin Urquhart representing the Highland swim team as well. So 4 girls in a line moving well in lane 8, Iona Connolly representing Midlothian. But I think it's between these 4 on the near side.
Nice start to get us underway. Nice competitive race. I think Kimberly might just be hanging on here, just pulling a little bit extra out in the death. Is she hanging on there? Very, very tight, not much in it. Kimberly, I think, is just going to take it from Caitlin Urquhart. She did indeed. Well done, Kimberly, for taking it on right from the outside lane and keeping it going. And I can see the big smile on the face. Well done, Kimberly. 3:04.65.
So 3:04.65 takes our first heat. In second place, Caitlin Urquhart, 3:04.95. 3:05.26 for Victoria Weir, who we didn't mention at all from first.
Indeed.
Sorry, what John was coming.
So we have our second heat in lane 0. Katie Watson, City Glasgow, 1. Grace Hannock, East Lothian Swim Team, 2. Rosie Heaps, Faulthouse Penguins, 3. Victoria Grabowska, Western Bartonshire, 4. Eden Fraser, University of Aberdeen Performance. 5, Neve Kunt from Kintyre. 6, Greta Siminska from Warner Baths. 7, Katie Lowe, Glenrothes. 8, Hannah Anderson, Carnegie. And in 9, Jessie Norris from Best. Entries in this one just over the 3 minutes, Lynn. 3:00:59 through to 3:02:95. So we should have a tight contest at the moment. It is pretty tight. Just the one swimmer a little bit further back in lane 0.
And Grace Hannock taking it out. East Lothian swimmer. East Lothian had some good performances yesterday, didn't they? Especially amongst their younger girls.
Younger girls were pretty good, yes.
And 39.3. So a little bit slower than the first heat.
There's a good raft of swimmers, all fairly bunched here at the moment. Lynn coming through quite nicely in lane number 5. As the Kintyre swimmer, Neve Quinn. She's been coming to West Districts fairly regularly and performing pretty well. Good to see these swimmers coming down and performing at Toll Cross regularly. And she's travelling quite nicely now in the second half of the race. She's going to lead, I'm pretty sure, 1:24.65. Well, she's had a good second 50. 44.92. So if she can replicate another couple of rows, that will get her nicely inside that 3 minute mark. But Grace Hannock's picked up the bit again and got going.
Yeah, Victoria Gabrowska just coming through into third place Western Bartonshire swimmer in lane 4. So she's in lane 3, apologies. So it's in lane 4, Eden Fraser from the University of Aberdeen Performance Swimming. And looking good. That's the fastest seeded lane, but as you said, there's not a lot between the entry times.
Been a good third 50 there for Grace. 45.21, Neve 47.74, so she's taken a couple of seconds out there. Well, Grace is just beginning to pull away here.
Yeah, she's looked as though
nice long glide and everything, getting those arms in right position.
yeah, inside the final 20 metres now for Grace Hannock, and I don't think anybody's going to catch her. It's going to be Neve Quinn that's closest to her from Kintyre.
She's had a good swim as well.
Yeah, she's not going to catch her. I think this is going to be a sub 3 minute swim.
So a couple will get under 3 minutes here. 2:55.45. Let's hope that Neve also just inside that psychological 3 minute mark. So great to see the two girls under 3 minutes, with Jessie Norris coming through to take third place. Swimmer from the Borders. 3:02.98, virtually on her entry time. So well done to Grace. On to our third heat. Caitlin Parnaby in 0 from Elgin. 1, Ciara Hart, Scotia. 2, Rebecca Strachan, City Glasgow. 3, Caelan Chan, North Ayrshire. 4, Faye Ligdag from South Aberdeenshire. 5, Macy Carty, Falthouse Penguins. 6, Gemma Ligdag from South Aberdeenshire. 7, Helen Black, Cooper District. 8 is Eve Ross, Highland Swim Team. And 9, Leah Payton, Itha. 2:58 to 2:59.90, Lynn, so barely 2 seconds again on entries in this one. A lot of them may well be converted short course to long course in this one.
Yeah, Macy Carty looks to be just about in the lead there, as second in the East District age groups.
Again, a little bit slower than those first 2 heats, but 4 or 5 swimmers all pretty well bunched together.
And Ciara Hart, who did get the touch at that turn, 6th in the West District age groups.
And Ciara Hart just going a little bit stronger than the rest of the swimmers. And it's the Scotia swimmer still with maybe half a body advantage, going well in lane 5. There's Macy Carter from Fourth House Penguins, as you mentioned earlier on. Rebecca Strachan turning in third. So the Glasgow swimmer.
And Leah Payton going well in lane 9, so that outside lane again. Iton very often have strong representation in the breaststroke events. Got a really good group of girls, age 16 or so. Leah Payton, one of those. Probably see some more of them later on. So Leah, 16, I say really good, strong group of girls, 16, 17 years old from Iton. But it's still Kira Hart just now, Scotia. She's swimming in the 17, 18 year age group. Still a lot of heats to come, and we've got more than 10 of each of the age groups coming up, vying for the 3 finals this evening. But good strong swim there, 2:11.70. So a little bit slower than the previous heat, but nothing in it at the moment, and she's powering down this final length.
She'll hopefully get a few seconds inside that 2:59.40, pacing maybe a couple of seconds inside that at the moment. Macy Carter also making a late charge. I don't know if she'll actually manage to get up. Not much in it now. Well, Macy Carter is getting everything. Well, it's a Scotia swimmer who just held on. Kira Hart 2:58.31, Macy Carter 2:58.66, and Rebecca Strachan is in third, 3:02.96. Another good race there, Lynn. And that result now confirmed. Our fourth heat has in 0 Sarah Wood from Iton, 1 Brooke Rogerson, Dumfries, 2 Isla Gilmurray, Dundee City Aquatics, 3 Bronwyn Payne from Best, 4 Sarah Kay, South Aberdeenshire, 5 Millie Barton, Belsilk Sharks, 6 Zoe Mitchett, North Ayrshire, 7 Ellen Denny from Geary, 8 Amy Owenson from Best, and 9 Elizabeth Morgan from the Highland Swim Team. 2:56s through to 2:58s, again barely 2 seconds between all 10 swimmers. Quite a nice start, Lynn, in lane 3 from Bronwyn Payne from Best.
And Sarah Wood also from Iton. We spoke about Iton in the last heat, so swimming in an outside lane. Sarah Wood from Iton in the red cap over here on the spectator side, and she's taken it out there, I think, along with the earlier identified swimmer, Bronwyn Payne.
Ella Gilmurray in a pink cap. Dundee City Aquatics also well positioned.
So nothing to separate the first 2 swimmers in lanes 3 and 2, 39.74 for the touch there. Nobody's gone out as quick as in the first heat that we saw, but a good race on between these 3 swimmers just now on the near side. And as you said there, Isla Gilmurray, Dundee City Aquatics between them is now moving through and taking it on.
Dundee City Aquatics, and next Bronwyn in Hale Blue Best, and also up there now in lane 7.
This might be the range, the longest range that Isla will do, a 200.
Being joined by Millie Barton as well.
Coming through very strongly in lane 5 is the Belsilk swimmer.
And in lane 7.
And Ellen Denny as well from Geary. Geary had a very good day yesterday, Lynn.
Yeah, and we've made mention of the work that's done in the club, and how they very often come through strongly at the end of a race, taking advantage of other swimmers that are tiring. But lane 3 there, Bronwyn Payne is not tiring, and she's seen the threat and is moving through back again to the front.
Yeah, she's been in the mix from the start and just biding her time, maybe just making sure that she's racing her own controlled race, and certainly doing that pretty well. Geary's swimmer is still going well. Ellen Denny over in lane 7. Not much between the two, but half a second, but a good last 50 there, 45.96 for Bronwyn. Puts her back into the lead. 2:12.58.
And taking Isla Gilmurray with her from Dundee City Aquatic, so there is a race on. And they're just coming into the final 25 metres, but I think
Isla Gilmurray's certainly got the bit between her teeth. Can she pull something special out to get past Bronwyn Payne? Bronwyn Payne and Isla Gilmurray, and over on the far side, Ellen Denny. Very, very tight. Isla Gilmurray is not going to catch her, is she? Oh, she is. What a cracking finish from the Dundee lass. Isla Gilmurray takes that. 2:58.93. Bronwyn Payne 2:59.04. 2:59.38 for Ellen Delaney.
That was a really determined effort in the last 5 metres, wasn't it?
Just shows you having two swimmers side by side and one behind wants it more than the other one. And great to see that race. So well done to Isla, and also well done Bronwyn. Great race, girls.
On to heat 6 then. In lane 0. Oh, this is heat 5. In lane 0, Miriam Gibb from Dumfries. In lane 1, Anastasia Enoch from University of Aberdeen. In lane 2, Gabriella Winton from Montefieth. Lane 3, Katie Towers, South Lanarkshire. In lane 4, Alana Wilson, Bells Hill. In 5, Erica Watt, Heart of Midlothian. In lane 6, Sophie Carruthers, Glenrothes. In lane 7, Jessica Powell, Elgin. In lane 8, Emma Silcock from First. And in lane 9, Iona Casapidis from Carnegie.
2:53s to 2:56s, so barely 3 seconds in this one. We have the bronze medalist from last night winning the breaststroke in this age group, 15-year-old Alana Wilson from Bellshill Sharks. In the mix at the moment, but it might just be lane 5. That's very tight, isn't it? Katie Towers, Casapidis, Gabrielle Winton, Erica Watt, and all very, very tight there. Katie Towers from South Lanarkshire, 39.31. So this has the makings of a very exciting race here. 39s for about 6 or 7 of those swimmers there.
Yeah, I see Jessica Powell from Elgin just nudging her way towards the front there. Jessica, perhaps more familiar in the North District, as swimming 1500 metres, 800 metres, 200 breaststroke though. She'll have a lot of strength at the end because she works hard. So be interesting to see. And there she is, actually out in front, Jessica Powell from Elgin.
Yeah, she's turning in the lead. And I was still trying to work out many years ago, about 10, 11 years ago, 12 years ago, they had a superb youngster breaststroker. She gave up maybe a couple of years after, but she won some age group records at the time.
Elgin?
From Elgin. I'll have a look and let you know probably this afternoon, Lynn.
Yeah, like I say, I can't see that Jessica Powell is going to fade, although breaststroke is not what we would normally associate with her, but there's still in the South Lanarkshire swimmer, Katie Towers. She set out really strongly, and she's keeping it going as well, and she's got a battle alongside her with Gabriella Winton from Montefieth, who are having a really good meet, aren't they? Jessica Powell 2:09.04. I think that is the fastest 150 we've seen so far, and like I say, I don't think she's going to fade because she's a real hard worker.
And just confirming that last night or yesterday at Montefieth, their relay team, it was the first time that Montefieth had a relay team in Snag, so well done to them. They give us a bit of excitement when Ali and I were doing that last night. But we have a very, very strong finish from Katie Towers. I think she's left it just a wee bit too late here, Lynn. Cracking swim from the far side, Jessica Powell. 2:54.91. Re-improvement on that entry time. Katie Towers 2:56.05. And Iona Casapidis with a late surge, 44.87 from nowhere in that outside lane from Carnegie, takes third place. 2:57.01. So all of them very much on their entry time, or just about their entry time. So we move on to our 6th, and this is the last heat before we get to the seeded heats. 0, Natalie Cooper, Wander Baths. 1, Ellen McPhee, Faulthouse Penguins. 2, Ailey McNair, Mulgan Bearsden. 3, Lauren Anderson, Swim West Lothian. 4, Cassie Wiper, South Lanarkshire. 5, Zara Smith. 6, Sophie Portier, both Wander Baths. 7, Maya Cheshire from Elgin. 8, Sydney Boyd, Midlothian. And 9, Carrie Preacher from Lerwick. Well, we have a Scottish National Age Group champion in this one from, I think, Pre-Snags, the swimmer in lane 1 from Faulthouse Penguins, Ellen McPhee. Nice to see her back in the pool after having a few years kind of struggling with health and everything, but great to see her back in the pool, so wish her all the best in this one. But lane 2, Ailey McNair from Mulgan Bearsden, 38. No, that's the first one sub 39. Well, apart from the first heat where we had a very strong start. And, 3 swimmers also under the 42nd mark.
Again, over on the spectator side, strong start, Natalie Cooper from Warren de Baths Club. It's again, though, over in lane 7, Maya Cheshire from Elgin.
Yes, another Elgin, Maya Cheshire. Another swimmer who's been around for quite some time. She's going pretty well. Sydney Boyd from Midlothian trying to stick with her. At the moment, still advantage with Ailey McNair.
I'm wondering if you're thinking about Sophia Green.
That's the one. That's the one.
So Sophia went on to represent Great Britain in triathlon. But yeah, she was a super breaststroker.
Yeah, she had a wee sister as well who was...
Ellie?
I think so.
Sure.
It was pretty useful, but yeah, that's the one.
So still Maya Cheshire though from Elgin out in front. Closest to her at the moment in 3, it's Lauren Anderson. No, it's Ailey McNair from Mulgan Bearsden. So the 2.
Still pretty tight. Lane 6, Sophie Portier from Wander Baths is making a move here, Lynn, and Sydney
0.
Boyd is still not out of it.
2:09.91.
Well, there's barely 4 seconds cover all 10 swimmers still. I'm not saying the 10 swimmers going to get into the mix, but you never know. Well, it's getting quite interesting down that final stretch.
So Maya Cheshire though powering away, same lane as we saw Jessica Powell in. She is being caught by the swimmer alongside her in 6 in the red cap of Warren de Baths, Sophia Porter.
Yeah, I think Maya's just going to hold on though, Lynn.
Yeah.
Lane 2 and 2nd.
In exactly the same time as Jessica Powell.
Well, that's good. There's no need for bragging rights in that one then.
No, different age group, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't like to see a 200 metres breaststroke swim off.
No.
Well, I would.
I've seen it, yeah, but yeah. So first of our seeded heats now. In 0 we have Madeline Patterson, City of Glasgow. In lane 1, Lexine McCappin first. 2, Lucy Nimmo, City of Glasgow. 3, Katie Coventry, Morpeth. 4, Erin Taylor from Finns. 5, Ciara Davidson, City of Glasgow. 6, Susie McNair, Stirling Swimming. Her teammate Perry Scobie goes in 7. 8 is Katie Caldwell, Mulgan Bearsden. And 9, Taylor Smith from St Thomas.
Really nice start from Erin Taylor in Finns in the seeded lane. And alongside her as well, it's Ciara Davidson, City of Glasgow. We'd expect the 2 centre lanes to be out in front, but that was a really powerful start from Erin Taylor. Erin Taylor swimming in the 17-18 year age group, a youth academy member, comes in on an entry time of 2:35.38. So they're quite a lot faster than the swims we've seen so far. About 20 seconds, these fastest seeded swimmers. Second in the East District age groups. And in fact she improved on her entry time at the East District age group, so has got a personal best time of 2:35.23. Winner of this event last year.
Yeah, this is a strength that she's always had for many years, Erin. Also in the past, I think she's won the IM as well. So very good all-rounder. But this certainly is the strength that she has. Best of the 4 strokes, the breaststroke.
So good first 100. Where is Finn's?
Finn's is in Fife. It's Kirkcaldy, would you believe?
And how did the name Finn's come?
I've no idea. I have absolutely no idea. But I'm sure someone from that club, if they want to drop us a little note, please do so. We'd be delighted to mention that this afternoon. Erin's going pretty nicely. Nice shot of her coming into the 150 mark.
Closest to her, Ciara Davidson, City of Glasgow, and then a battle for third place between Lucy Nimmo, City of Glasgow, and Katie Coventry from Morpeth.
Yeah, Ciara Davidson, this is her main event, breaststroke.
And look at Susie McNair, we've spoken about.
Susie McNair, this is her weakest stroke, Susie McNair, but she's been improving her breaststroke over the last 6-9 months. And that's made a big impact on her IM times. It looks like Susie McNair might actually get third place here, but cracking swim here from Erin Taylor. Doing enough to get into the final, 2:40.37, very comfortable. Ciara Davidson second, and I think we might just have Susie McNair in third place. Susie McNair, I think, won the summer meet last year in that age group. So she'll certainly be in the final this evening.
Yeah, we've got 400 metres individual medley coming up a bit later. That's a really tough double. Quite a few of these swimmers, I know we've got Nuala Gow coming up a bit later. She'll be swimming in the 400 metres individual medley as well, but that's a tough double to have on one morning and again in the evening.
Penultimate heat. 0. Tia Aiken, University of Aberdeen performance. 1. Rebecca Cole, South Lanarkshire. 2. Ella McGeorge from Cooper and District. 3. Amy McLeod, City Glasgow. 4. Nuala Gow from Geary. 5. Good start from Ailey Robertson, South Ayrshire. 6. Sarah Tarantine from Morpeth. 7. Ellie Kennedy, City Glasgow. 8. Fairmay Masson from Shetland. And 9. Eva Kirkham from First. Well, the runner up to Charlotte Tardy is in lane 4, fastest, second fastest qualifier for this heat, Ailey Robertson, but Nuala Gow from Geary, a very strong breaststroker.
Yeah, you've got to fancy Nuala for this one, but Amy McLeod set off with a really good start and she had a really good first legs, 36.47. Not as fast as we saw from Erin Taylor in the previous heat, but she really set off a stormer. But Amy McLeod still holding it down this second length, representing the City of Glasgow, and it's Nuala Gow next to her from Geary.
Interesting, we've almost got 4 girls all pretty tightly bunched, Amy, Nuala, Ailey and Sarah. Sarah maybe just a wee bit off the pace, but 3 of them will they push on too much if they've feel they've done enough to get into the final. We'll wait and see. Nuala Gow now strikes the front, 1:16.86.
Yeah, so again, not quite as fast as the previous heat, but Nuala looking pretty comfortable out there in front. She swam a lot of swims down at the British Championships last week. Perhaps not as well as she might have liked, so it'd be interesting to see whether she can pull it back this week. I understand that she hadn't been that well, so hopefully she's now fully recovered and ready to go. Just coming through now in lane 5, Ailey Robertson, South Ayrshire. Different age group to the 2 other swimmers who are both swimming in the 17-18 year age group. Ailey, silver medalist in the 50. Would you say that she's more of a 200 swimmer than a 50?
I think she's more 50-100.
But she's
pretty steady over 200, but she's a very good all-rounder. I don't think that breaststroke, just because Katie and Erin were excellent breaststrokers, Katie Robertson, another good all-rounder, it's hard to pick out whether backstroke or freestyle is actually her best stroke. Ailey Robertson, it seems to change every year. Always been and even butterfly, very good butterfly swimmer. But Nuala Gow showing her qualities in this one, Lynn. Well, yeah. Well, she'll almost certainly have a centre lane 4 or maybe even lane 5 at very worst for the final this evening. Ian McLeod will certainly have a lane in the middle section as well, and Neely Robertson,
yeah, it was
very comfortable third, 2:45.28.
Nuala slower than Erin throughout that race until the final length, where she really brought that one home quickly to finish full 2.5 seconds faster than Erin Taylor's time. Still heats, and it's a matter of qualifying for the finals. So our final heat then, in lane 0, Alyssa Goodbrand, Eithin again. In lane 1, A.B. Stewart, Warren Bass Club. In lane 2, Fern Crichton, Dundee City Aquatics. In lane 3, it's Mai Rogers from Warren Bass Club. In lane 4, Charlotte Hardy, South Ayrshire. Lucy Stokes goes in lane 5 for Dundee City Aquatics. In lane 6, Tegan Black, East Lothian. Lane 7 is Charlotte Thompson, Mid Lothian. In lane 8, Leah Bullock from South Lanarkshire. And in lane 9, Izzy Munnock from Morpeth. So it's our gold medalist from the 50 metres breaststroke last night, Charlotte Hardy, representing South Ayrshire, and alongside her in 5, Lucy Stokes, Dundee City Aquatics. Different age groups again.
Yeah. So Charlotte's certainly come out in leaps and bounds in the last 6-9 months. Much better, very dominant on 50s and 100s, but getting a little bit of extra now, and the 200 is something that she's pretty useful at now. Last week at the British Championships, winning the junior event, and winner at the junior event at the Edinburgh International last month, and she and Lucy Stoves actually together. Charlotte Hardy an entry time of 2:31, Lucy Stoves 2:40. So halfway mark, 1:16.36, 1:16.79 with Leah Bullock from South Lanarkshire going very nicely over in lane number 8 in 3rd place. Fern Crichton from Dundee City Aquatics. Also vying for that 3rd place. Charlotte Thompson also well there, Midlothian swimmer. At the moment, Charlotte Hardy just looks as though she's trying to edge ahead. Not very much between the two, Lynn.
There's a lot between the two on their entry times, so I think we can safely say that Lucy Stokes is working quite hard. Charlotte Hardy, though, she looks as though she's working as well. She'll want a good lane in the final. They've got different finals that they've got to qualify for. Lucy Stoves, the comparator for her, the 2:37.79 that we saw from Nuala Gow in the previous heat, because she'll be racing for a place in the 17-18 final, and she's looking really good.
Yeah, I think both girls getting to work a wee bit down the final stretch, but not really doing too much. They'll comfortably be in the final, and Charlotte Hardy with the fastest time, I think, for the 16-year-olds, 2:40.39. Lucy Stoves will be in one of those 4 middle lanes, and Leah Bullock finishing in 3rd place.
Yeah, Lucy Stowe's only just outside her entry time, so good swim from her. She's a Youth Academy member, second in the North District age groups. I suspect that was behind Nuala Gow.
Quickly give you the finalists in the 15-year-old age category. They are Seren Talentine, Ellie Kennedy, Grace Hannock, Madeline Patterson, Katie Towers, Sydney Boyd, Macy Carty, Isla Murray, Carrie Preacher and Ellen Denny. Reserves, Niamh Quinn, Anastasia Enoch.
Hannah Miley leading that. She's done a huge amount of work on this subject in the last year or
So just carrying on, our 16-year-old Charlotte Hardy, Ailey Robertson, Charlotte Thompson, Susie McNair, Maya Rogers, Katie Coventry, Lucy Nimmo, Tegan Black, Izzy Minnock and Perry Scobie, Jessica Powell and Ailey McNair are 2 reserves. And in the 17-18-year-old category, Nuala Gow, Erin Taylor, Lucy Stoves, Amy McLeod, Ciara Davidson, Leah Bullock, Ella McGeorge, Lisa Goodbrand, Katie Colwell, Fern Crichton, Maya Cheshire and Sophie Portier are reserves. That's you up to date. We now have butterfly 200 and it's a total of 6 heats. So in lane 0, Luke McCall, Wonder Bass, 1 Luke Livingston, Best, 2 Ewan Watson, Renfrew Bass, 3 Jed Armitage, Highland Swim Team, 4 Caden McLaughlin, Mulgine Bearsden, 5 Hayden Pritchard from Geary, 6 Sam Tedder from Guildford City, 7 is Lachlan Bremner from the Highland Swim Team. In lane 8, Matthew Polgerzelik from Montefief, 9 is Craig Campbell from the Highland Swim Team.
Ewan Watson set off really quickly, turning at the wall in 31.52 in lane 2 from Renfrew Baths. Hayden Pritchard now coming through from Geary. We had lots of entries from Geary in the 200 fly in our North District age groups recently, and like I say, it's a programme that works well on the breaststroke and on the butterfly for practising and preparing for that 400 metres individual medley around which the programme is based.
Yep.
But still lane 2, Ewan Watson, 109.49 for him at halfway. Entry times range from 2:33 out to about 2:39. So a fair bit of range in this one. But we've got 3 swimmers all in a line now. Just in 2, 3 and 4, so Ewan
looking
Watson,
strong.
yeah, he is.
Coming
Ewan Watson,
strongly.
Jed Armitage and Caden McLaughlin just starting to come through now from Mulgine and Bearsden, just nosing out in front after the turn.
And it's the MNB boy that's got a bit between his teeth here, going particularly nicely down the final stretch.
Still breathing every 2. Not breaking his stroke cycle, but look at that in lane.
Jed Armitage is coming through very strongly, Lynn, yeah.
Yep, Jed Armitage from Highland Swim Team all the way to the wall there, 2:28.34, so big improvement for him. 37.73 on that last lap, so I think that was the fastest. Yeah, I think he was out on a 40 on the way down towards the 150, so 2:28.34, very impressive from Jed Armitage. Caden McLaughlin finishing in second, 2:29.11, and Hayden Pritchard, 2:34.56. So it's a good start, heat 1.
And you see that in the butterfly, important to keep a wee bit in the tank for the finish, don't go out too strongly. It's all about pacing the race. It's a grueling event, butterfly. 0 Daniel Haywest, swim around slowly in 1. Calder Murphy from Carnegie, 2 Noah Lucatelli from Wonder Bass, 3 Aaron Steele, South Lanarkshire, 4 Fraser Cowie, South Ayrshire, 5 Ishmael Shalaby, Wonder Bass, 6 is Tony Bullock from Midlothian, 7 Fabio Farini from Wonder Bass, 8 Ennisgow from Geary, and 9 Caleb Geddes from Bellshill Sharks. Now just a wee glitch there, Lynn. Swimmers being asked just to come off the blocks again. Back on, we're ready to go. This one entry times 2:28 to 2:31. So this on paper should be a lot tighter. Nice start in lane number 5. Ishmael Shalaby also well there in lane 1. Calder Murphy got a good start from Carnegie. And coming through in lane 4, Fraser Cowie, South Ayrshire. And it's the Wonder swimmer with the advantage at the 50, Ishmael Shalaby.
Yeah, turning second, it was Calder Murphy in lane 1 and Aaron Steele in third. Nothing really at all between these swimmers in this particular heat. I think still out in front, perhaps, the Warren de Bath swimmer, Ishmael Shalaby.
Yeah. His entry time comes from the East District where he was runner-up in that event, 2:28.67.
South Lanarkshire swimmer now, Aaron Steele, just nudging out in front. A really powerful second length for him. He's got a big kick. You can see the big splash from his feet as his hands enter the water. And great push off the wall and some lovely kick, but not streamlined at all. Interesting. So, lot of changes taking place in these boys' bodies, and obviously very strong. It's sometimes quite difficult to coordinate your arms and legs. But looking really good there in lane 3. Aaron Steele from South Lanarkshire. I'm not sure what club he's from. Do you know?
I'm not 100% certain, Lynn. He's certainly had a very good third 50, 30, 92. Tony Bullock trying to get himself into the mix. The Midlothian swimmer in lane 6. He's having a good second half of the race, and certainly there is a race on. Tony Bullock still trying to make some headway. Colin Murphy with a late surge in lane 1 to try and get back into the mix. Coming through very strongly, the Carnegie lad, maybe in third place. But this is Aaron Steele's race by some margin. Aaron Steele, Tony Bullock and Colin Murphy. Colin Murphy flying at the end. Gets into the third place position, but well done Aaron Steele. 2:26.55.
Yeah, Toby Bullock was closing rapidly, just didn't quite have enough water to get to the wall first.
They're all improving on their entry times, Lynn. Very good swims from those 3 lads. And to heat number 3, Lewis in 0, Lewis Gow from Tiverton. 1, Lewis Muir from Carnegie. 2, Manu Drysdale, Warren de Bath. 3, Fraser Stewart Steplock. 4, Oscar Churnside from Geary. 5 is Rory Webster from Dumfries. 6, Ross Anderton, East Lothian Swim Team. 7, Tom Liversidge, South Aberdeenshire. 8, Cameron Gill from First, and 9, Tom Jeffers, Ren 96.
Yeah, best start from Rory Webster from Dumfries in lane 5. So one of the faster entry times. Second in the West District age groups, and I think he's going to reach the wall first, although, as is always the way, just as you say that, somebody else comes through in lane 2. It's Manu Drysdale from Warren de Bath Club. He gets the touch in 30.07. So the pace is gradually increasing and the times are gradually coming down as we come towards the seeded heats. Manu Drysdale, though, he's looking good, and it is still Rory Webster alongside him between these two at the moment as we approach halfway.
And we have the Ian Prentice trophy winner of the open water. That's the junior trophy in lane 4. Oscar Churnside going particularly well.
Yeah, I think we spoke about Oscar yesterday. Oscar represented the North District in France at the Open Water Championships there. Also more known really for his 1500 and his 800 metres freestyle around and about the North District. So like we spoke about Jessica Powell earlier in the breaststroke, we'd expect to see Oscar Churnside at the end of this race. Still lane 5 though.
Rory Webster still going well.
And Rory Webster turning in 1:42.08. Oscar Churnside is making grounds on Manu Drysdale and gone past him now, and he's now eating into the lead that Rory Webster's got, and it's going to be pretty close as we come in towards the finish. Oscar Churnside is gaining with every single stroke, and he is catching him, and he's gone past him. Going well in 6 now as well. That's Ross Anderton, East Lothian. I don't think he's going to catch Rory Webster, but Oscar Churnside has, and gone past him, coming into the wall, into the final 5 minutes. Timed that really nicely.
Ross Anderton's going to get second here, Lynn. And in lane 1, in lane 0 rather, Lewis Gow might have actually snatched, well, Oscar Churnside won that out the park, Lynn.
He did, really storming fast.
Very, very good last 50 from him. Finished on a 36.49.
Yeah, so a little bit of a dodgy touch. So I think that's the backup button time that's gone in there.
Yeah.
2:21.52 though, fastest time so far from Oscar Chen's side from Geary.
So on to the first of the seeded heats. 0, Cameron Shaw from first. 1, Joe Carter, Derting. 2, Callum Sinclair, West Lothian. 3, Robert Burgess, City Glasgow. 4, Evan Davidson, Perth City. 5, Matthew McMillan from Incas. 6, Andrew Brody, Aberdeen Dolphins. 7, Kyle Mitchell from Geary. Teammate James Bodie is in 8. And 9, Fraser McLaughlin from Elgin.
Good start in 3 from Robert Burgess, City of Glasgow. Gold medal winner already yesterday. Was it 2 medals that Robert won yesterday?
It was, Lynn, yes. And he's going, as you say, pretty well. Over in 5, Matthew McMillan, well there, along with Andrew Bodie and Kyle Mitchell. And Robert Burgess with the advantage, 29.32. Matthew McMillan, Evan Davidson in second and third. So coming down towards the halfway mark, Matthew McMillan might just be shading this one.
Yeah, both in the 17-18 year age group. Evan Davidson, Perth City sandwich between them in the 16-year age group. And looking good at the wall there. So Evan Davidson just getting the touch for second place from Robert Burgess, the early leader. But Matthew McMillan looking really good now.
Those three just look as though they're pulling away from the rest of the field. Matthew McMillan, Robert Burgess in that 17-18, Evan Davidson in the 16-year-old category. At the moment, Matthew McMillan looking pretty strong here, Lynn.
Well, I fancy that his stroke has shortened. You can see Evan Davidson is still swimming the same as he has been throughout the whole of the race, but I think Matthew McMillan's got enough in him to get to the end first. So he is getting caught though.
Evan Davidson closing with every stride. I think you're right, Lynn. Evan Davidson's going to get up to take this one. Finishing extremely strongly with Perth swimmer. Evan takes that, 2:11.19. Matthew takes second, 2:11.57, and Robert Burgess 2:14.43.
So Evan won this event last year in the age group that he was in then, which was the 15s, obviously in the 16th now, and he's the fastest entry and the fastest time that we've seen so far.
He looked pretty good, didn't he? In lane 0 we have Callum Morgan from Aqua Bears. 1, Adam Scott, Ren 96. 2, Dean Fern, Aberdeen Dolphins. 3, Travis Davey, Dundee City Aquatics. 4, Stephen Kravitz, East Lothian Swim Team. 5, Scott Fleming, South Lanarkshire. 6, James Burnett, Warner Baths. Teammate Sarah Gulen goes in 7. 8 is Lewis Austin from Highland Swim Team. And 9, Logan Scally from University of Aberdeen Performance. Stephen Kravitz, Scott Fleming, 4 and 5. This should be a cracker.
Intriguing race, and Dean Fern, of course, as well,
yeah.
who, much as I think we've been more familiar with him swimming the 50s and the 100s, he's adding the 200s to his repertoire, yeah. And looking really strong.
Yeah.
And he does look strong going down this first length. I'm not sure he's got the stamina to stay, not the stamina's not the right word, but the experience to stay with these more experienced 200 metres butterfly swimmers.
But it's something that they want to continue doing, Lynn, to give him that that sort of stamina, so to speak, for the 50 and the 100, just to keep going and see if he can compete with these big guys. 2 17-year-olds, Stefan and Scott. It's Scott Fleming just with the advantage at the moment.
Yeah, Scott won this at the British Summer
He
Championships
was,
last year.
Yeah.
And he's on the junior team. I think off the back of that performance, really, because that was quite extraordinary. But he's a really hard worker as well. Again, the distance swims, the medleys, the butterflies, particularly 200 metres butterfly. and he's looking good over in lane 5. Although we did see Stefan Kravitz improve his time tremendously down at the British Championships last week. 2:04.63 he swam, which is 3 seconds faster than his entry time, finishing 8th in the B final. So we can expect to see some more from him, but Scott Fleming definitely is the man to watch in this heat. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the final, both in the same age group, of course.
Because Stefan might just be taking the view, let's just get in, do the swim, qualify for the final. I won't worry whether it's lane 5 or even lane 3. Just get a spot near the middle. It's got.
It's a high-risk strategy.
It is, Lynn. But Scott Fleming putting out a marker in this one. Good swim from Scott, 2:07.68.
Yep, making a statement there in the heat. Scott Fleming, Stefan Kravitz in second, 2:11.43. I thought James Burnett was going to take third place there, but Dean Fern must have put on a bit of speed right towards the end, and he finishes in third place in 2:13.89. Look at the speed of that last 50 from Dean Fern, 33.
Yeah. So that will give him a lot of encouragement for this evening's final, Dean.
Yeah, they'll all be in different finals, of course.
Yeah.
Final heat then of the 200 metres butterfly. In lane 0, Dean Bagatti from South Lanarkshire. In lane 1, Kai Connolly, South City of Glasgow. In lane 2, Fraser Tetlow, Geary. In 3, Brodie Gordon Gibson, Horrender Bath Club. In lane 4, Tom Robertson, Aberdeen Dolphins. In lane 5, Kieran Lennox, University of Aberdeen Performance. In 6, Finley Club, Aberdeen Dolphins. 7, Zach Slater, East Lothian. In lane 8, Lucas Johnson, University of Aberdeen. And in lane 9, Connor Stewart, Sterling Swim. And again, another intriguing heat here. Tom Robertson swam very well down at the British Championships, and this is his favoured distance and his favoured stroke. And but it's Kieran Lennox, the winner of the 50.
Yeah. And Tom was running up in that one, I think, Lynn, last night.
He was. And we have the winner of the gold medal in the 200 metres breaststroke, in the shape of Fraser Tetlow as well.
Don't discount really Brodie Gordon Gibson as well on this one.
I didn't forget him at all. Kieran Lennox though, like I said, we've seen him swimming really super fast 50s and adding the 100s to that, and he's now added the 200 to his repertoire, and he's looking pretty good as we come in towards the halfway mark. 59.63 when I say pretty good, actually very good indeed.
Pretty damn good, yeah. Brodie Gordon Gibson just over the minute. Tom Robertson not that far behind in third place. And those three just beginning to pull away from the rest of the field. It's a question of are they going to worry too much about where they're finishing? It looks like Tom Robertson is putting in a little bit extra effort down this third stretch, 33.55, about a second faster than Brodie Gordon. A little bit faster than Kieran Lennox as well. And here comes Robertson. He's decided enough is enough, I'm going past these guys.
Yeah, I'd say this is his favoured distance and his favoured stroke. He was second in the junior final down at the British Championships and improved his personal best time then, so he's on good form, and he's one of my favourite swimmers.
So we have a fairly easy swim, I think. Put that down for Tom Robertson. He didn't have to do too much in the early stages, just kept in track with Brodie Gordon Gibson, Kieran Lennox, who finished almost together, 2:11 and 2:11.20.
Oh, that's quite an impressive time, really.
It was pretty good.
It's an easy swim. It was well paced. But 2:08.79, I mean, that would only be 2 seconds off his best time had he not swum faster last week.
So our finalists for that 200 butterfly in the 15-year-old category: Dean Fern, Oscar Chirnside, Ross Anderton, Lewis Gow, Toby Bullock, Dean Bargatti, Jed Armitage, Daniel Hay, Innes Gow, Ian Watson Our reserves: Fraser Cowie, Ishmael Shalaby. Our 16-year-olds rather: Evan Davidson, James Burnett, Zach Slater, Callum Sinclair, Adam Scott, Lucas Johnson, James Bodie, Rory Webster, Callum Morgan, Cameron Gill, Kai Connolly and Manu Drysdale are our 2 reserves. And in the 17-18-year-old category, it's Scott Fleming, Tom Robertson, Brodie Gordon-Gibson, Kieran Lennox, Stephen Kravitz, Matthew McMillan, Robert Burgess, Cyril Goulding, Travis Davey and Andrew Bodie, with Kyle Mitchell and Fraser Tetlow, the 2 reserves. That's you all up to date. There was a disqualification, Lewis Austin from the Highland Swim team in those earlier heats. I don't know if we brought that to your attention, Lynn, or not. We maybe missed that one. Apologies if we did. But we now move on to girls 100 backstroke. Millie Conville from Dumfriesson 0, 1 Madeline Patterson, City Glasgow 1, 2 Morgan Higgins, University of Aberdeen Performance, 3 Isla Dobson, City Glasgow, 4 Erin Blight, Morpeth, 5 Susanna Kern, Kilmarnock, 6 Amber Littlejohn, University of Aberdeen Performance, 7 Caitlin Parnaby Elgin, 8 Phoebe Sampson, Dundee City Aquatics, and 9 Freya Dand from Midlothian. 35-65 Freya Dand, our early leader. She's gone pretty well over that far side, Lynn, and coming through strongly in lane number 4, Erin Blight from Morpeth. Pretty tight down the final few metres. Isla Dobson also well there. That's maybe Isla Dobson from City Glasgow. And in lane 6, maybe going to get the final touch, Amber Littlejohn. It is 1:12.74, finishing in a 36.77. Freya Dand on the far side, 1:13.16, and Isla Dobson 1:13.48. That's your 1, 2, 3 in our first heat. Now moving on to heat number 2. 0 Gemma Coots, South Aberdeenshire. 1 Molly Weir, Swim West Lothian. 2 Freya Headley, Stepbrook. 3 Addison Cole, South Lanarkshire. 4 Katie Barn, Midlothian. 5 Simone Finlayson, Dundee City Aquatics. 6 Emily Dickens, City Glasgow. 7 Ailey McNichol from Glenrothes. 8 Emma Jupp from Aberdeen Dolphins. And 9 Mesa Carty from Falthouse Penguins. 1:12s to 1:13s in this one, Lynn, so we should on paper have a tight contest.
Yes, and I'm enjoying these side-by-side starts. I think they definitely do save some time with these wide lanes. It's so unfortunate.
So Katie Barron, I think maybe just shading that at the moment, coming up towards the halfway mark, Lynn. Over on the far side, Emma Jupp well there. Aberdeen Dolphins swimmer, not much between those two. It's Katie Barron just with a touch, 34.97.
Yeah, so there was unfortunately quite a lot of oversubscriptions in this event. It's a reflection really of the improvement that we've had since last year. There was very few last year, and it's just it's sad that swimmers are going to be rejected like that, but it's a good reflection on the way that there's been an improvement around the country.
Yeah, yes.
Katie Barron though really took that one out. 12:28 her entry time for Midlothian, led from start to finish, in towards the finish now. Nice green cap in the middle lane, touching first there in 1:11.72, so a good improvement there for her. A full 1 second exactly ahead of Emily Dickens in second place. 1:12.72 and 1:13.77, so another second back for Molly Weir from West Lothian.
Yeah.
Good results, swimmers.
Yeah. As you see, Lynn, you've had some scratches from some of the events. It might be something that Scottish Swimming might want to consider if we have some of our non-Scots taking part. Do they get an automatic entry where we don't have scratches? No problem with that. It's maybe something to look at in future. But we certainly do want our friends from out with Scotland coming and competing at these events as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really busy meet. Anyway, we're on to heat 3. In 0, Leah Rafferty. In 1, Amber Edgerton. 2, Imogen Lowell. 3, Kira Pemble. In 4, Emma Silcock. 5, Caitlin Frame. 6, Erin Coulter. 7, Caitlin Peebles. In 8, Katie Lowe. And in lane 9, Helen Stoddart. And Helen Stoddart
Very
taking
strong
it out
start,
in lane
isn't it?
9. Yeah, really good. So slowest entry time 1:12.14, but turning in halfway 33.9, so 0.7 ahead of Kira Pemble in second place and Katie Lowe just behind her. The pace, and you can see the cadence just dropped as we come into the second length, but she's holding on. She worked really hard on that first length, well, she's still hanging on to the lead there over Kira Pemble from Best.
Katie Lowe going well in lane 8. Glenrothes. I was at the Glenrothes meet about a month ago, and they had a lot of improving youngsters coming through at the club, so maybe something to look for over the next year or two. Well, very tight, isn't it? Katie Lowe from Glenrothes and Helen Stoddart together, dead heating. 1:12.26, and Caitlin Frame from first from nowhere comes through and takes third, 1:12.43, just ahead of Kira Pemble from Best. So moving on to our fourth heat. In 0, Ella McPhee from Fauldhouse Penguins. 1, Anna Easton, Dundee City Aquatics. 2, Iona Henderson, South Lanarkshire. 3, Orla McInnes from Heart Midlothian. 4, Sarah Smith, Warner Baths. 5, Grace McPherson, Aberdeen Dolphins. 6, Victoria Grabowska, Western Bartonshire. 7, Iona Kasipidis from Carnegie. 8, Alexander Miller, Fauldhouse Penguins. And 9, Emma Wilson from Warner Baths. 1:11s for all these entries, so very tight on entries, less than a second, cover the whole field, and a pretty good start from lanes 4 and 3, Zara Smith, Orla McInnes. Over that far side in 8 and 9, Alexander Miller, now Wilson also going well. Lynn, it might just be lane 8, just shading it, but it's pretty tight. Also well there, lane 1.
Pink cap in lane 1, Anna Easton. Not quite getting the touch. Alexandra Miller just getting that one in lane 8. So between the two swimmers in the outside lanes, and there's not much to choose between them just now. I think perhaps lane 8, who you identified earlier, Alexandra Miller from Fauldhouse.
There's about almost 5 in a line here, Lynn. Finishing very strongly, Iona Henderson from South Lanarkshire. It's the Dundee swimmer, I think, that's got this though. Iona Henderson is finishing fast, but Anna Easton, I think, might just be sneaking this one. No, maybe not. Over in lane 8, it's Alexander who's got this from Anna Easton. On the far side, Naomi Miller just touched out Iona Henderson for that third place. So very close and exciting finish in that one.
Yeah, nice finish from Alexandra Miller, really accelerated in towards the wall, didn't touch it on full extension of the arm, which is what you're hoping for, but she was really speeding in there.
Now that's what happens when you have penguins in the water. They swim so efficiently, don't they, Lynn?
Yeah, if you say so.
0, we have Alison Wood from the Highland Swim Team. 1, Lucy De Grossa from Best. 2, Jocelyn McKenzie, Mulgine Bearsden. 3, Orla Malia from South Aberdeenshire. 4, Anna Tichenko, City Glasgow. 5, Lucy McLeod from First. 6, Lucy Atherton, Heart Midlothian. 6, Grace Noonan, Mulgine Bearsden. 7 Grace Noonan, Mulgine Bearsden. 8, Rona Anderson, Shetland Swim Team. And 9, Bronwyn Payne from Best.
Nice start in 0 from Alison Wood, representing Highland Swim Team, Tane swimmer, and also going well in 4, that's Anna Tichenko from the City of Glasgow. But Alison Wood really working hard down this first length, making a statement and going out from the outside lane and looking good towards the turn there.
She's going to, as you say, very strongly, Lynn. Might be just on the touch. 34.07 by 100 from Anna Good turn from Alison as well there, Lynn.
Yeah, good skills there. I mean, really nice start, really powerful off the, making the best use of the backstroke starting devices. I think the fastest swim there from Anna Tuchenko is going to get it towards the end, but really with the good skills of Alison Wood. Like I say, in Tane, and they're obviously practicing their skills. They train in a 20-metre pool, so it's all credit to them really. But it's going to be the middle lane. Anna Tuchenko take the one towards the finish. 1:11.01, just outside her entry time. Jocelyn Mackenzie coming through quickly to take second place, and it's Alison Wood in third.
Anna, who takes the win, 11.01.
Move on to heat 6 then.
Yes, let's go with heat 6. In 0, Sarah Stewart, Mulgai and Burston. In 1, Ailsa Club, Aberdeen Dolphins. 2, Alex Coy, Warren de Bath Club. In 3, Isla Gilmurray, Dundee City Aquatics. In lane 4, Zuzia Smith from first. In 5, Gemma Brown, Carnegie. In lane 6, it's Libby Doubleday from University of Stirling. And 7, Erin Ferris from Cumbernauld. Another Cumbernauld swimmer in 8, Emma Creaney. And in lane number 9, it's Millie McArthur from South Lanarkshire.
Good start in lane 2, Alex Coy from Wonder Baths. Also well there in lane 7 is Erin Ferris from Cumbernauld. Nice start as well from Ailsa Club, Aberdeen Dolphins. But it's pretty tight at the moment.
Yeah, not much between these swimmers on entry time, so we'd expect it to be pretty close. But it's Ailsa Club, I think, just going to turn first in lane 1. Aberdeen Dolphins swimmer in the 15-year age group, looking for a place in the final. Better turn, though, from Alex Coy, Warren de Bath Club, who went in behind and came out ahead, so good for her. Going through quickly now in lane 7, Erin Ferris from Cumbernauld. And she looks as though she's moving through just towards the lead there. Erin Ferris from the yellow cap from Cumbernauld. Another 15-year-old swimmer came in on an entry time of 1:10.26 and looking good into this final 10 metres or so between Ailsa Club and Erin Ferris. Who's going to... Ailsa Club just gets it, 1:10.40, less than a tenth ahead of Erin Ferris in second place. And third home, Alex Coy, Warren de Bath Club. So another fast one.
Heat number 7. 0, Maya Cheshire for Elgin. 1, Grace Courtney, East Lothian swim team, Natalie Marshall. Swim West Lothian goes in 2, my apologies. 3, Rosie Liston from City Glasgow. 4, Emma Finlay, East Lothian swim team. 5, Eve Wood, Orkney. 6, Mai Rogers, Warner Baths. 7, Isabella Abernethy, Aberdeen Dolphins. 8, Mia McLeod, Swim IT. And 9, Jessica Beaton, Aberdeen Dolphins. Well, Eve Wood, already a winner yesterday, goes in lane 5. And the Orkney swimmer has had a really good start, Lynn.
Yeah, she had a really good start. Emma Finlay alongside her just didn't seem to get any distance off her start at all, and as a result is having to work really hard to catch back up with Eve Wood. I'm sure that she will, but Eve Wood at the moment just striding on out there ahead. Characteristic fast start from Natalie Marshall in lane 2, and it's between these two at the turn, 32.97 for Eve Wood, Natalie Marshall 33.12. Like I say, Emma Finlay left herself a bit too much work to do there, I think, off of the start, and Eve Wood really taking advantage of that. Natalie Marshall still going well from West Lothian.
I think Eve Wood looking good to at least be in a final. She's 15, not too many 15-year-olds still to follow. And this is, I think, just going to be Eve Wood's race. Very tight, or is it? Oh, Eve Wood just hangs on. Natalie Marshall and Mia McLeod over on the far side in third. Well, she had to stretch to get that one. 1:08.56, 1:08.66.
Yeah, I spoke about the importance of the fast finish in a previous heat, and Eve Wood reached back just a little bit too soon and the momentum had gone, and so she was lucky to hold on there just by 1/10 of a second.
Yeah. So our seeded heats: Heat 8, 0, Elise Cousins, Perth City. 1, Hollygilly, Morpeth. 2, Katie Rose, Wonder Bass. 3, Hannah Willis, City Glasgow. 4, Gabby Freeman from Morpeth. 5, Melissa Mainwaring, Swim West Lothian. 6, Ella Stevenson, City Glasgow. 7, Melissa Menny from South Lanarkshire. 8, Amber Stevenson, South Ayrshire. And 9, Emma McGavin, South Lanarkshire. 103 through to 108. Well, we should have the middle lanes dominating this one, Lynn. Doesn't always work out that way.
Yeah, nice start from Melissa Mainwaring. It's interesting seeing the swimmers completely pulling themselves totally out of the water, bottoms clear and everything like that, nothing in the water at all, and flying through like a backwards dive, which is what we're aiming for really. You get much less resistance if you're not in the water, and the swimmers are getting better and better at it all the time, taking full advantage of those backstroke starting devices.
Well, it's Hannah Willis, City Glasgow.
Yeah, 31.88 for her.
Yeah, it was City Peterborough, I think, at one point, but representing City Glasgow this weekend.
Yeah, I'm not sure she's a point scorer. As you say, I think she's based down south, but an affiliation with Glasgow.
Yeah.
Not 100% sure about that, but coming through quickly now in lane 4, Gabby Freeman, Morpeth.
Fairly comfortable for those first 3 home. Melissa Mainwaring finishing strongly enough to take 3rd place. Ella Stevenson will probably be in a final in 4th there.
Yeah, and Gabby Freeman, the winner of the 200 metres yesterday, so it's not a great surprise to see her leading us out there in the heats.
So our penultimate heat: 0, Kista Gilmore, South Lanarkshire. 1, Sophie Kendall, Corby. 2, Zoe Crawford from First. 3, Megan Donovan, City Peterborough. 4, Anna Green, Warner Baths. 5, Drew Mackenzie, City Glasgow. 6, Catherine Renfrew, Perth City. 7, Coco Croxford. 8, Susie McNair, both from Stirling Swimming. And in lane 9, Tamia Schultz from Dumfries. Looks like there's a bit of a wee delay. I don't know if it's a costume malfunction. It looks that way. Drew Mackenzie, I think, dashing off poolside there, Lynn. Maybe a costume split or something. So
yeah, these things happen,
Yeah.
and there's not a lot that we can do about it.
No.
So perhaps a time to remind everybody about the Save Our Pools campaign.
Yeah.
So Scottish Swimming have launched a petition to supplement and support their Save Our Pools campaign. There's a lot of pressure on our facility operators with the costs of heating, and they're seeking some support from the Scottish Government to
encourage our local authorities to keep these pools open, to allow all these kids here and the future kids the opportunity to swim. We need that happening, so please, as Lynn says, go on the web page, see what's there, and talk to your local councillors. You can influence these people.
Yeah, so the petition that's been launched, you can find more information about it on social media and also on the Scottish Swimming website, and we're looking for as many people as possible to sign that, because it does influence the behaviours and the decisions of our government with regards to support that might be offered to offset some of the challenges that are being faced by our facility operators just now.
Yeah, we are aware that there are significant costs in running pools. Even at home we've got extra heating costs, and yes, there is a cost associated with heating pools, but we need everyone really to sign up and do their best to encourage all these local authorities not to take a blinkered view, and it has health benefits as well, massive health benefits, and that is a cost benefit to the government in Scotland if we can keep these pools open.
Yeah, I mean, there's a misconception that Scottish Swimming is really only concerned with competitive swimming, but it's not. We want to encourage everybody to have a healthy lifestyle and to stay fit.
Yeah.
Throughout their lives. Still a bit of a delay though. The nice shots there of the pool sides just to give an indication of how busy it is. For those of you that don't know, there's this 50 metre 10 lane pool in Aberdeen. We also have a 6 lane 25 metre pool just in a separate pool hall. It's a diving competition pool with a raisable floor, so very versatile, can be used for lots of different competitions and to support the diving program here, but because it's got a raisable floor, it can also be used for swimming lessons, and it's very busy, but we're lucky enough to have that as an alternative swim down pool. So we've actually got, in addition to the teams that you will have seen on the camera shots around the poolside in this big pool, there's also a lot of teams around there as well. It's a really busy meet here at Scottish National Age Groups this year.
Lynn says we have a diving facility here. That's one thing that is also lacking very much in Scotland. We don't have very many diving facilities, Lynn. So I think the facility down in Ayrshire in Ayr is very much under threat if it hasn't actually been getting closed. So it's not just the swimming purely in the pool, it's other swimming disciplines as well that can be affected. So that's another thing to look at, Lynn.
Yeah, get that petition signed. I mean, considering really how few diving facilities we've got, I think Scotland punches above its weight with the diving. Obviously, we've seen the success of James Heatley and Grace Reed, and we've got some young up-and-coming divers as well. And starting to come through from this relatively new programme in the northeast, based in the Aquatic Centre in Aberdeen. But there aren't very many. I don't think you've got any in Glasgow.
There's none in Glasgow. There was the intention behind it. Those of you who've watched our live stream or have been at Tollcross, at the bottom end at the start, there is a big gap that was, I believe, meant to be opened up, and there was money set aside to get a diving pit put in there, because at the Glasgow Commonwealth Games the diving was actually through in Edinburgh, where there is a facility for diving. They didn't get the diving put in at the time that the Tollcross venue was set up, but the plan was then after the Commonwealth Games to put a diving pit in. Sadly that never ever happened, and I would imagine the money was allocated somewhere else. So I said that the only diving facility we have in the west was the one in Ayr, and I think that is either potentially going to close or is closing very imminently. So it would mean that anyone in the west has either got to come over to Glasgow, possibly up to Dundee, or even as far afield as the fantastic facility you have up here in Aberdeen.
Yeah, so that's Drew Mackenzie. I think you're right. I think it was a swimsuit
Costume
malfunction. Yeah,
yes.
so she's there in her training suit, just out to prove that it can be done.
It can be done. It wouldn't make that much difference, certainly not in the heats, I don't think.
So Kirsty Gilmore, Sophie Kendall, Zoe Crawford, Megan Donovan, Anna Green, Drew Mackenzie, Catherine Renfrew, Coco Croxford, Susie McNair and Teen Mia Schultz. Lots of medal winners here already in this 100 metres backstroke. Anna Green unexpectedly out in front, her entry time 1:02.9. And she is the dedicated backstroker in the field here, having represented GB in the European Junior Championships last year, turning first 31.92 for Anna Green. Drew Mackenzie in her training suit out second in 32.27. Catherine Renfrew in third, only just behind. Catherine Renfrew now drawing up alongside and just going past Drew Mackenzie. Anna Green, Drew Mackenzie and are both in the 17-18 year age group. Catherine in the 16-year age group representing Perth City. So just moving through into second place is Catherine Renfrew. But, no doubt about who's going to take this heat. Anna Green. I think that stopped a bit late.
Yeah.
But, 1:04.89. That's the corrected time for Anna Green. Second home, Catherine Renfrew in 1:06.4 and Drew Mackenzie third, 1:07.75.
As you said, it can be done. She finished third, Drew Mackenzie, in just her normal costume. We finish off with our final seeded heat. 0 Madison Cool from Bucky, 1 Fern Titan. Dundee City Aquatics, 2 Maria Howe from University of Aberdeen Performance, 3 Amy Shields, City Glasgow, 4 Holly McGill, Heart of Midlothian, 5 is Heidi Rain from City Glasgow. 6, Kenna Kurtza, Wonder Baths. 7, Ailey Armstrong, East Lothian Swim Team. 8, Rosie Foster, Wonder Baths. And 9, Safina Machin from City of Glasgow.
Final heat of this girls under backstroke. We have Madison Cool, Bucky at 0.
Well, very good starts, Holly McGill and Heidi Rain in the middle lanes there, Lynn.
Yeah, I thought Amy Shields went out really well as well, just off the start. Between Amy Shields and Holly McGill just now, those two out in front. Medalists in the 2. Turning pretty much together, although faster rotation from Holly McGill sees her put her feet on the wall first and longer underneath the water as well. Holly McGill, of course, Commonwealth Games representative.
Yep. She didn't do the 200 yesterday, Lynn. Maybe deciding to concentrate on more 2 specific events over the 5 days. This is certainly one of them. And looking pretty good. Amy Shields going to take 2nd, very close for 3rd, but
Kiana Kurtz are coming through there nicely from Warrington Baths Club in lane 6, and Heidi Wren as well from City of Glasgow. So quite close in the end between those 3, but Holly McGill out in front, 104.24. That's the fastest through to the final this evening. She's in the 17-18 year age group. And 2nd place it was Amy Shields, and I think it was Kiana Kurtz who got the 3rd.
Kiana Kurtz, I think, was 3rd in that one. Yep. Yeah, 106.43 for Kiana Kurtz, just ahead of Heidi Wren. Absolutely correct.
Yeah, so we spoke briefly there about Drew McKenzie swimming in her training suit. Of course, in Scotland here we have a relatively new rule, came in on the 1st September last year, which restricted our younger swimmers the types of suits that they can wear, so that they focus on their training and on their behaviours rather than on the benefits potentially of a very expensive suit, and they are very expensive. So in this afternoon our 13 and under swimmers are not allowed to wear high performance suits, and that's defined as having waterproof fabrics, grippers on the legs, and remind me what the other thing is, Robert, because I cannot think. Oh, it's the you know what it is, don't you? It's how tight they are.
Yeah.
It's the fabrics that they're made from, and whether or not they can provide compression.
Yeah.
So the intention is to focus the swimmers on their training.
Very much on stroke development and everything. Yeah.
There we are, one of those mental blocks. We're on to 50 metres breaststroke, watching actually the officials move down to the turn end of the pool and the starting equipment, but they've tested the starting equipment. It seems to be functioning perfectly well, and we've got 10 swimmers behind the blocks. Yeah,
50 breaststroke, Andrew Brackenridge, Jimmy Lynn, Ross Hutchinson, Luke Scott, Ben Payton, Edward Storer, Nukudim Trojna, Keir Campbell, Luke McCall and Finlay Byrne.
Nothing between them off the start there. Didn't see anything perhaps now in 4, Ben Payton, University of Aberdeen Performance, just nudging out in front. Also going well, Jimmy Lynn, from Scotia in lane 1. Between these two at the moment, but I think making a move in 3, perhaps Luke Scott from Dumfries. I think it's those 2 early leaders that are just going to battle it out towards the finish. In lane 4, going to get it Ben Payton from University of Aberdeen, 34.07. That's a good improvement.
It is
whole
indeed.
Second,
Jimmy Lynn at 34.66, and in 3rd place.
Second heat, Alex Cumming, Finlay Cunningham, Aidan Nixon, Lavia Singh, 4, Kane Buchanan, 5, Taylor Sinclair, 6, Finlay Brown, 7, Yusuf Ibrahim, 8, Rowan Brown and 9, Tom Armitage. 34.70 to 35.10. Again, barely half a second cover of field. Good start in lane 5. Taylor Sinclair from Elgin. Coming through to challenge Kane Buchanan from Dundee City Aquatics, and also well there Lavia Singh from Scotia. It might be between those 3, Lynn.
Yusuf Ibrahim as well, also over in lane 7, but Kane Buchanan working really hard. I think he's going to catch up to maybe go past our early leader. Who gets it? Very close indeed,
close.
7 100ths. So Taylor Sinclair just getting that one, the Elgin swimmer. Kane Buchanan is second place, Dundee City Aquatics, and Yusuf Abraham coming through with a late charge for bronze. Not bronze, it's the third place, isn't
place,
it?
yeah.
I need a coffee.
0 to 9, Aidan McCavish, Tyler Stewart, Toby Bullock, Lewis Muir, Dean Bergatti, Lewis Gibson, Adam Thompson, Sam Ross, Jack Docherty Simpson, George Hodgkinson. 34 to 34.67 in this one, Lynn. They start in the middle lane.
Yep, lane 5 and lane 6 together, Lewis Gibson and Adam Thompson, both South Ayrshire swimmers. They're getting the better of the rest at the moment, certainly down and past into the final 15 metres between the two boys from South Ayrshire, Lewis Gibson and Adam Thompson. So we're starting to come back, and we've got a green cap from Toby Bullock in Midlothian in lane 2. So right from the very outset though, Lewis Gibson representing South Ayrshire, he took that one 33.8, 8 100ths behind his teammate Adam Thompson.
Heat 4. Finn Bannerman, James Gordon, Ewan Gray, Callum Peebles, Sam Coole, Lucas Brown, Stephen Pate, Guy Pelosi, Liam Gorzinski and Aidan Bruce.
Finn Bannerman, James Gordon, Ewan Gray, Callum Peebles.
Good start from Lucas Brown, more commonly seen swimming backstroke and perhaps front crawl, but he's got a really strong start. Powerful off the blocks and out in front for Elgin. Not sure he'll stay there.
Callum Peebles coming through strongly, I think, Lynn, and also in 1, James Gordon. Well, it's anybody's race here.
Lane 8, yeah.
Lane 8 going well. Lane 1, James Gordon, I think, just got that. Well, it was a good call, Lynn. It's Liam Gorzinski from Montefief, better known as a useful backstroker, but takes that one 32.53.
And Montefief are having a really good meet.
Yeah, that's a good second plus improvement on his entry time. Cracking swim.
On to heat 5 then. In lane 0, Karen Chapman, Win Rothers. In 1, Callum McCarthy, Mulgai and Bearston. 2, Kaylin Johnson, Lerwick. 3, Ben King, Mulgai and Bearston. 4, Mark Watchorn from Scotia. Ben McLaughlin goes in 5, Fraser McIntosh in 6, Luke Garrity in 7, Kyle Wong in 8, and Ryan Broadley goes in lane 9 for the Brough. Good start in 5, Ben McLaughlin from Geary. Alongside him in 4, Mark Watchorn from Scotia. And alongside him, Ben King, Mulgai and Bairstow. Between these three, I think, and back saying that, in lane 7, Luke Garrity, Inverclyde. Quite a short one for Luke, I would have thought, but Luke looking really good on the breaststroke, coming in towards the finish there, and I think he's just pushed himself out in front. I think he's going to take
Garrity's
it.
got this one.
Yep, Luke Garrity taking that one. 32.51, a full half a second ahead of our early leader, Ben McLaughlin, who had to settle for second, and Mark Watchorn from Scotia, 33.1 in third.
Heat 6, 0, Kirill. We have Kieran Lennox, University of Aberdeen performance in 0. Bruce Austin Highland swim team 1. Torrin Liversidge 2, Greg Ross 3, Archie Smith 4, Andrew Bell 5, Jake McKenzie 6, Callum Gold 7, Jacob Wood 8 and Thomas Traynor in 9.
Astonishing start from Kieran Lennox, the winner of the 50 fly last night. It just looked amazing off the wall. Also going well though in lane 4, Archie Smith, Aberdeen Dolphins, and that was on the starts, but coming through quickly now, Gregor Ross from City of Glasgow with perhaps the faster breaststroke swim, but I think it's going to be the Aberdeen Dolphins swimmer just going to take this one, Archie Smith. Oh, Gregor gets it. Gregor's
not much in it there.
Not a lot in it at all. I say Gregor Ross the fastest swimmer, Archie Smith and Kieran Lennox the fastest starters.
So heat 7, Ben Montgomery, Lewis Brander, Johnny Martin, Adam Hill, Marcus Blake, Benji Jones, Fraser Tetlow, Cameron Hastings, Taylor Hutton and Jaden Chan.
These are fairly flying through these, aren't we?
Ben Montgomery, Lewis Brander, Johnny Martin, Adam Hill, Marcus Blake, Ben Jones, Fraser Tetlow.
South Lanarkshire swimmer maybe in lane 5, Benji Jones got
Possibly,
the best start there.
In 7.
He has got his nose out in front at the moment, but working hard alongside him on either side is the Fraser Tetlow from Geary, the winner of the 200, and Marcus Blake from Geary, from City of Glasgow rather. It's the City of Glasgow swimmer, perhaps Marcus Blake coming through. It's going to be on the nod. Benji Jones just hangs on. 32.19 for him, 32.27 Marcus Blake, and Fraser Tetlow in third, 32.31. That was a really close one.
Very tight, Lynn. So the first of the seeded heats, 0 Connor Christophers, 1 Alexander Stewart, 2 Kieran Hayes, 3 Stephen Kravitz, 4 Connor Mitchell, 5 David Smith, 6 Ewan Beattie, 7 Jack Lorimer, 8 Alexander McCallum, and 9 Dylan McCombie.
Nice start in lane 3. That's Stefan Kravitz.
Yeah. You wouldn't expect anything less, Lynn.
Well, I wouldn't. When you see a start like that and then you look at to see who it is and you think, well, I should have known that better. But yeah, Stefan Kravitz, really nice start. Alongside him, Connor Mitchell, Warren de Bath's club. Between these two, I think as we come in towards the finish of this Heat 8, Stefan Kravitz getting the better of Connor Mitchell, just 30.26. 30.26 is a second and a half faster than the entry time that Stefan Kravitz put in there, and he's not long out of his 200 fly. Goes to show the importance of a good hard warm-up.
Indeed. Penultimate heat, Jake Gibson, Corey Phillip, Logan van der Meulen, Bobby Carlisle, Robson Miles, Jack Mitchell, Max Pelosi, Ewan Weir, Michael Skiko and Finlay Chang. Final 15-year-olds going this and the last heat.
Yeah, good start though in lane 4 from Robson Miles. His entry time 30.61. He actually swam at last year's national age group, so it'll be interesting to see where he is just now. Perhaps not better that time in the year, but he's looking really strong.
He does look pretty strong, doesn't he?
Alongside him, Jack Mitchell from University of Aberdeen, but the winner, Robson Miles, 30.5, so a new best time for him from the City of Glasgow swim team. And Jack Mitchell in second, 30.85. Stefan Kravitz still the time to beat, 30.26.
So final heat, 0 to 9, Craig Shaw, Callum Aitchison, Finlay Nelson, Lewis Gray, Mika van Blerk, Royce Kringelis, Jake Holmes, Jack Wallace, Magnus Bullock and Luke Janssen. Mika Blandverk, the only one in the field, sub 30 seconds.
Well, we have a Smurf in lane 1, but in lane 4, Mika van Blerk, 17-18 age group, the only entry into this event with a time that's sub 30. But he's got a battle on his hands with Royas Kundrelis alongside him, City of Glasgow swimmer, in the 16-year age group. So not looking for the same final, but they are battling it out in this heat. I think it's going to be Mika van Blerk. He just gets that 30.4. Royas Kundrelis in second place, 30.66. And I think, yeah, there was a technical infraction in that heat, unfortunately.
Yeah, lane 6 disqualified, Lynn, as you rightly say.
Yeah, I don't think that will be disputed. It was quite visible.
So I'll give you the girls 100 backstroke. Gabby Freeman, Kiana Kurtzer, Holly Gilly, Coco Coxford, Eve Wood, Madison Cool, Ailsa Clubb, Erin Ferris, Melissa Meni and Anna Tachenko. Elligan Murray and Amber Littlejohn are our reserves. That's in the 50-year-old age group category.
So as Robert looks for those.
Catherine Renfrew, Heidi Wren, Zoe Crawford, Megan Donovan, Rosie Foster, Maria Howie, Emma McGavin, Mia McLeod, Susie McNair, Maya Rogers are in the 6-year-old final. Gemma Brown, Alexandra Miller, the reserves. And finishing that, Holly McGill, Anna Green, Hannah Whitlis, Amy Shields, Marissa Mainwaring, Ella Stevenson, Katie Rose, Drew McKenzie, Natalie Marshall, Ailey Armstrong, Sophie Kendall and Elise Cousins, the 2 reserves in the 17 to 18-year-old category. So on to the girls 400 individual medley, Lynn.
Yeah, I love this. We've got 5 heats.
That's good, good
and
to
they've
have
got
that.
heats and finals.
Yep. So some of these will be doing their utmost to try and get themselves into possibly a 15-year-old final, maybe even a 16-year-old final. Inlet 0, we have Caitlin Frame for first, 1 Thea Glenn, City Glasgow, 2 Ellen Denny, Geary, 3 Jessica Powell from Elgin, 4 Ella Chambers from Ithin, 5 Rosie Heaps, Falthouse Penguins, our teammate Alexander Miller goes in 6, 7 Lana Wilson from Bellshill, 8 Ella McPhee, Falthouse Penguins, and 9 Melissa Menny from South Lanarkshire. Butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, freestyle, and important not to go out too fast and give it everything in the butterfly section, Lynn.
Yeah, you'll often find though, even when you ask swimmers to relax, that they may manage a personal best on their 100 metres butterfly, not thinking about it and just aiming to get to the wall as quickly and as easily as possible, and there you go, in your 400 metres individual medley, you're still managing a personal best for your 100 fly. At every single turn, every single stroke in this event. So 7 turns, different types of turns.
Ellen Denny coming through nicely to challenge for the lead now. Going very nicely indeed. Very little between the 2, Lynn.
No, not a lot at all. Of course, we've got a strong history of individual medley swimming, 400 metres individual medley in particular for females in Scotland, with Hannah Miley and now Katie Shanahan. Actually, but even before that, I mean, we had Camilla Hattersley as well. She was a strong 400 IM swimmer, and Lorna Smith. But we've got some strong swimmers in the water, or certainly in the later heats just now as well. And the race closing up. I love the way the race lead changes throughout a medley with the different strengths of the swimmers. First to the wall, Jessica Powell, saw her reach the final of the 200 metres breaststroke, and I think at the time we mentioned that was a tough call, didn't we? And Susie McNair, we know we're going to see later on, it's quite a common double up. Jessica Powell just out in front. Like I say, we saw her swimming 200 metres breaststroke, and we know that she's a strong freestyler. Representing Elgin. Alongside her, Geary, Ellen Denny.
Alexandra Miller looks as though she's trying to get herself into the mix. Thea Glenn as well, and Caitlin Frame on this near side. Jessica Powell, we'll just have a wee look at all these split times. Jessica Powell 47, and Marissa Menny a bit further back, also on a 47. But, the leader just beginning to pull away a wee bit here, Lynn.
Yeah, I think it's great that we've got so many swimmers wanting to swim this 400 metres individual medley, and not everybody getting their swim either. So we have got a couple of reserves that may well get their place. Yeah, it's just been too busy a meet, too many people wanting to swim to fit everybody in, but Jessica Powell looking really good coming in towards the final 100 metres of freestyle. Ellen Denny still in second place, and in third Alexandra Miller. It's not Alexandra Miller, it's in lane 5, Rosie Heaps from Falthouse.
Oh, you don't think she's going to give this one up with a good advantage after that very, very solid breaststroke run?
Not with the pedigree of the 1500 freestyle, 800 freestyle that Jessica Powell has.
Very much looks like Ellen Denny's giving it everything, just making certain that she's going to finish second and maybe improve on her entry time. 5:32.48 for Ellen, 5:32.40 for Jessica Powell.
Yeah, Jessica Powell swimming in the 16-year age group and Ellen in the 15s. Still a lot of swimmers to come in those age groups as well as in the older age group. But Caitlin Frame really making a go of it from first in lane 0. Just can't see where she is in the water, but she's really given it a good go, gone past Ellen Denny on that last length. Making inroads towards Jessica Powell's, but she's not going to catch her. Jessica Powell takes the first heat in 5:32.00, nice round number. 5:33.84. Look at that split from Caitlin Frame in the last length, 33.89. So a lot left at the end for Caitlin, and Ellen Denny finishing in third in 5:37.21.
Just advising everyone, lightly swim off to follow for the 50 breaststroke in that 17-18-year-old category. Robbie Carlisle, Alexander Stewart are the protagonists for that one. That will be for first reserve and second reserve, Lynn.
Very good.
So that's something to look forward to later on. An extra swim for us.
We'll move on to heat 2 then of the girls 400 metres individual medley. In lane 0 we have Kirsten Mackay from Perth City. In lane 1 Macy Carty Fauldhouse. In lane 2 Izzy Munnock from Morpeth. In lane 3 Alyssa Goodbrand Iton. Lane 4 Lauren Anderson West Lothian. In lane 5 Ellie Kennedy City of Glasgow. Also City of Glasgow. In lane 6 it's Louise Connell. In lane 7 Ava Kirkham from Firth. Lane 8 Lucy Nimmo City of Glasgow. And in lane 9 Georgia Dickey representing Dumfries. It's City of Glasgow cap in lane 6. Louise Connell battling it out with in lane 9 Georgia Dickey from Dumfries, just down that first length, 32 seconds.
And don't be surprised if Georgia Dickey actually wins this out the outside lane, having won the 1500 just yesterday.
Yes, that was a good swim.
So Georgia Dickey and it's Ellie Louise Kennedy, if I give her a full name, going nicely on the butterfly section. Also well there on the near side, Kirsten Mackay and Alicia Goodbrand from Perth City and Iton respectively. They're all well there, but Georgia Dickey at the moment 109.54. So she's on that far side, going pretty well on the backstroke section. I would suspect that maybe her breaststroke might be the weaker of the 4 disciplines, so if that's the case, she'd want to maximise as much as she can in this backstroke section, Georgia. The other 3 girls that turned second, third and fourth are still in that sort of position. Ellie, Alicia and Kirsten Mackay.
Yeah, Alyssa Goodbrand moving through. Iton we've spoken about in the breaststroke. Really good, strong group of girls that can train well together, age 16, 17 or thereabouts. And a reasonable breaststroke there, I know. Lauren Anderson, West Lothian. We've got the fastest entry time coming into this event. Quite often we see our breaststrokers hanging back. I don't know much about Lauren Anderson, but it may well be that the breaststroke is where she'll find her strength. But still, our swimmer over in lane 9, Georgia Dickey. As we say, we know that she's got a strong finish. And the endurance required to finish a 1500 metres as well. So it's just a question of what the breaststroke looks like, isn't it?
Kirsten Mackay
touching first there, 2:35.71 at halfway. 41.71, not quite as fast as Louise Connell on that last 50 coming in towards the turn. It looks as though it's quite a respectable breaststroke Georgia Dickey's got there over in lane 9.
Well, I know that Warner should have pretty good breaststrokers, so Kirsten Mackay should be able to push on and try and maintain that advantage she's built up on that backstroke. Not much between the two on the outside lanes. Coming through very strongly indeed is the swimmer from Iton, and it's a good brand to try and get into the mix. Louise Connell and Ellie Kennedy now making a move in lane 5. Ellie Kennedy is motoring.
Still those outside lanes though, 0 and 9, Kirsten Mackay and Georgia Dickey. Out in front, Kirsten Mackay 46.72, so that was a good split there, but it does look as though she's tiring down this second length of the breaststroke. It could be that she's saving something for her freestyle, but it's a very close race now between the two swimmers in the outside lanes. Kirsten Mackay, Perth City, and Georgia Dickey, Dumfries on the far side. Coming through, Lauren Anderson. In fact, it's not lane 5, it's Ellie Kennedy, isn't it? The Glasgow cap in lane 5.
Very strong breaststroke. She's got herself into the mix. It's a three-way contest here. The outside lanes in lane 5. It's Kirsten Mackay just with a touch. Ellie Kennedy and Georgia Dickey. Well, there's barely a second between the first three. Well, can that endurance over the far side bring Georgia Dickey home? You'd kind of think it might do, Lynn.
Yeah, she's kicking the stronger of the three swimmers. I think that's where this race is going, but
I think this one's cut and dry. Georgia Dickey has really eaten into the lead that Kirsten Mackay had and has gone clear.
Ellie Kennedy looks as though she's moving through into second place, and alongside Louise Connell, her teammate, is also working hard down this final length. I don't think she's going to catch Kirsten Mackay, our early leader from Perth, but it's Georgia Dickey who's going to take this one, no shadow of a doubt. 16-year age group looking for a place in the final this evening.
Well, she'll certainly be, I think she's a stick-on for getting into the final on that swim. 5:24.10, that's a cracking swim, Lynn. Kirsten Mackay just dropped back a wee bit. Ellie Kennedy improves by a couple of seconds or so. Louise Connell very much on her entry time, just a fraction faster, and Kirsten Mackay also a little bit faster. But what a swim from the outside lane from Georgia Dickey. I did mention yesterday she keeps every time she goes into the pool just chipping away for a few seconds here and there, and that's great to see. Steady improvement from Georgia. Third heat in 0, Victoria Niven, City Glasgow. 1, Sydney Boyd, Midlothian. 2, Leila Weatherspoon, Heart of Midlothian. 3, Zara Innes, Carnegie. 4, Anna Green, Warner Bass. 5, Gemma Brown, Carnegie. 6, Libby Doubledale, University of Stirling. 7, India Marshall, East Lothian Swim Team. 8, Rosie Foster, Warner Bass. And 9, Kaylin Urquhart from the Highland Swim Team. Pretty good starts in 2 and 4, Lynn. Leila Weatherspoon and Amber Owen.
Lane 4, Perry Scobie.
So Anna Green is not swimming, it's Perry Scobie in this one.
Yeah, but a nice strong fly there in lane 2 from Leila Weatherspoon. I did wonder what the red cap was, where the red cap was, but Perry Scobie giving it a good effort, coming in as a reserve swim for Stirling Swim in lane 4. But still Leila Weatherspoon in lane 2.
Now, getting a reserve swim in the middle lane might be a benefit to Perry. It might encourage her just to try and stick with some of these slightly faster swimmers on entry time. She's coming into this on a 5:38, which is about 10 seconds or so slower than most of these swimmers.
Leila Weatherspoon, though, still out in front on the backstroke leg. Closest to her in 5, it's Gemma Brown from Carnegie. And Gemma putting on a bit of a spurt down this first length of the backstroke. Bobbing about a bit. Still a powerful backstroke nonetheless. Leila Weatherspoon looking much smoother in lane 2. And she'll turn first.
India Marshall going pretty well over in lane 7 as well. And
yeah, Indy Marshall, East Lothian swimmer. Again, a nice, long, smooth backstroke from her. Layla Weatherspoon still out in front on the backstroke leg. Took out the lead on the fly and holding it on the backstroke. Moving through now in 5, it's Gemma Brown, Carnegie. And the swimmers are closing up with the early leader, and I think by the time we get to the halfway mark, Gemma Brown may well just get the touch.
Not much in it though, Lynn.
No, but it is closing up. We've got coming through in lane 1, Sydney Boyd from Midlothian.
Another refresh.
Much closer. So Layla Weatherspoon just getting the touch there. 2:36.71 at halfway. 2:37.71, exactly a second back. Is the swimmer in lane 5, Gemma Brown, and onto the breaststroke. Layla Weatherspoon looking pretty good out in front, but coming through quickly. Sydney Boyd alongside her in the Midlothian green cap.
She's a big threat, isn't she, Lynn?
It's the time for the breaststrokers now, isn't it? And you can see Sydney Boyd coming through in lane 1 and also going well now in lane 7. India Marshall, who I think you highlighted earlier. Race really closing up, but we're going to have a new leader as we come in towards the turn. Sydney Boyd from Midlothian. Sydney Boyd, third in the East District age group. She was 4th in the Scottish Summer Meet last year.
Better turn again from the Hearts girl, Layla Weatherspoon.
Yeah, we've noticed those skills, haven't we? Layla Weatherspoon on the backstroke came out really good, but I think the faster breaststroke stroke is going to hold Sydney Boyd in good stead as we come in towards the freestyle leg. Going well in 7. India Marshall, East Lothian. She's swimming in the 17-18 year age group, whereas Sydney Boyd and Layla Weatherspoon are both 15 years.
So Ennis making a wee move to try and get into the mix as well in lane 3, the other Carnegie swimmer. The Sydney Boys have a very good breaststroke win.
Yeah, as you say, she lost a little bit of ground on the turn there, but the breaststroke swim itself was very strong. 46.79 as the second faster than the swimmer alongside her, who had been ahead. Who's got what left for the freestyle though?
India Marshall still looks as though she's got a wee bit left in the tank.
Sydney Boyd moving ahead now. Layla Weatherspoon, she's just being left behind. I think there's a full body length now and a bit to the lead over Layla Weatherspoon, but India Marshall without a doubt is catching. Turning over together, who gets the touch? Sydney Boyd just in front, 4:50.84, and just 3/100ths of a second at that turn there between her and India Marshall. Coming down to final length, it looks as though Sydney Boyd has got a little bit left, and she's looking across the pool. She can see India Marshall across there, but I think India Marshall just about holding on.
Looks like India Marshall's got this, Lynn.
It looks like she's timed that really nicely, doesn't it? Just inside, moving ahead at about the 25-metre mark, coming in towards the finish, and she's got much more left at the finish. 5:26.04 for India Marshall, so that's just outside her entry time. But a good swim nonetheless. Her entry time has got a 0 at the end, so perhaps a conversion. So that's a good job, well done. Sydney Boyd in second place, 5:28.03. Layla Weatherspoon having to settle for third, having led that race for so much of it.
Georgia Dickey's time still the one to beat, 5:24.10, as we move on to our 2 seeded heats. All these swimmers much faster than 5:24.10, and we have in 0 Cassie Wiper, South Lanarkshire, 1 Freya Beaton, City Glasgow, 2 Lexine McCappin from first, 3 Stella McCarthy, City Glasgow, 4 Susie McNair, Stirling Swimming. Her teammate Coco Coxford goes in 5, 6 is Rebecca Somerville wearing 96, 7 Charlotte Thompson Midlothian, 8 Fern Gray, Sevenoaks, and 9 Tia Aiken, University of Aberdeen Performance. Stella McCarthy, City Glasgow. No real surprise to see her going out very strongly on the butterfly section. This is the strongest of Stella's 4 strokes. No doubt see her in the butterfly events, competing at a very high level and hoping to win those 3 events if she can.
Coco Croxford, also best known for her butterfly, and these 2 girls leading it out. Stella McCarty between the 2, Susie McNair between the 2 of them.
Susie McNair going pretty well in third place, not all that far behind Charlotte Thompson, the green cap in Midlothian. Well there in fourth, but at the moment Stella McCarthy 106.89, strong butterfly along with Coco 108.47. I'll expect Susie McNair to close on them on the backstroke section. Coco's backstroke's pretty useful. I expect both the Stirling girls to close on Stella in this next 100. Now the two Stirling girls almost together. Susie is now making a very nice move, and she's gone from third to first in the space of about 40 metres, Lynn.
Yeah, winner of the 200 metres backstroke, so no big surprise. Perhaps the ease with which she did that. A reflection really of the quality of the swim that we've got to come, but the two swimmers alongside her, well, they've still got a lot of racing to do. Stella McCarty, City of Glasgow, and Coco Croxford, Stirling Swimming. But Susie looking very relaxed and comfortable in the water there, just easing ahead of the other two swimmers with every stroke that she takes. Coco Croxford just in second perhaps in lane 5.
She got an entry time of 5:01.20. I think off the top of my head, Lynn, 4:54 and a bit was what she did last week at the British. So
your head's better than mine then. It certainly was under the 5.
Yeah, you'd expect her to be probably close to the 5-minute mark. She'll do enough to qualify, but she'll want to show that it's a good qualifying time, Lynn. She doesn't mess about in the pool.
Yeah, she's a junior team member, and as you say, I think she broke through to one of the finals and swam even faster in that. Did she not last week?
Yeah, she did indeed. And Coco Croxford, another very up-and-coming swimmer. She's a year younger than Susie. Both moved probably about 6 months ago over to Stirling to train McCarry Wood, and she's brought them on a bit further. Doing really, really well, both girls. As you can see, Stella McCarty hanging on there. Stella's a pretty useful freestyler, so expect her to try and come back on the girls if she can. At the moment, nice shot of both the Stirling girls.
Yeah, Stirling doing really well at this championships, and it's not just the individual swimmers, it's quite a good team. We saw the teams do well in the relays yesterday. Currently sitting in 5th place in the point scores, which I think is a high for them for a little while. And looking really strong. Susie McNair in particular here looking really easy, stretching out down that freestyle leg. Coco Croxford, teammate nearest to her and moving through now into 3rd. It's Charlotte Thompson from Midlothian, and she's fairly motoring down this first length of the freestyle.
Well, I'm expecting Susie to come in probably around about a 5:06. It looks as though she's really just eased off completely. It's I think it's even going to be slower than that. She's not too worried now. It's almost like a swim down here.
36 seconds for that last 50.
Yeah, she wasn't really trying, Lynn, to be honest.
I think she's just going to ease in
She's done the job.
Yep, job done.
Especially after a breaststroke earlier on.
Coco Croxford's still working hard though down this final 50. Coco coming in on an entry time of 5:05. So she's going to be a good few seconds down from that, but really can't push it out too much on a heat in the 400 IM when you've got a final to come in the evening. Clock didn't stop there, but I think it was about 5:09.
I've got to take into account there's relays to follow, and so they've done more than enough, and probably having a wee blather with one another just how that one went. Well done, girls.
5:09.79 it was for Susie McNair, not quite stopping the clock with her touch. 33.84 Coco Croxford last length, 5:13.10 Lexine McCappin coming through for 3rd.
Now, 5 of the girls faster than that 5:24 earlier on. So, as I say, Georgia Dickey will have no problem being in that final, and quite a few of the other ones in some of the earlier heats, somewhere under maybe 5:33-ish. We'll give them every chance, I'm sure. So our final heat: 0 Alice Cummings, City Glasgow, 1 Caris Mooney, 2 Heidi Wren, 3 Amy McLeod, all the same City Glasgow, 4 Nuala Gow from Geary, 5 Erin Taylor from Finns, 6 Isabel Wood, Stirling Swimming, 7 Tegan Black, East Lothian Swim Team, 9 Phoebe Arbuckle from Wonder Bass, and 9 Kirsty Gilmore from South Lanarkshire. Just while this is in progress, then I'll give you the breaststroke finalists for the 15-year-olds: Ian Weir, Cameron Hastings, Gregor Ross, Craig Shaw, Johnny Martin, Corey Phillip, Callum MacArthur, Sam Cool, Conor Christophorus and Lewis Gibson. 2 reserves: Toby Bullock and Taylor Hutton. In the 16-year-old category: Royce Crongelis, Conor Mitchell, Marcus Blake, Logan van der Nolen, Finlay Nelson, Luke Garrity, Liam Gorzinski, Archie Smith, Alexander McCallum and Jaden Chan. Stephen Pate and Matt Watchhorn are reserves, and our finalists in the older age category: Stephen Carrick, Mika Van Blair, Robson Miles, Jack Mitchell, Ewan Beattie, David Smith, Lewis Gray, Jack Wallace, Max Pelosi and Benji Jones. As I say, we should probably have a swim-off for that first and second reserve.
Good stuff. Yeah, there's 4 City Glasgow swimmers over here on the spectator side. Heidi Wren taking it out of those 4, and we know she's got a good backstroke in her. It was Isabel Wood who was going with her, Sterling swimmer. Nuala Gow, perhaps her back end, the better part of her race, in lane 4 in the fastest seed, but Heidi Wren still in lane 2.
Isabel just touched out for a medal last night, finishing in 4th place, so she'll want to get into this final tonight. I don't think there'll be any problem with Isabel getting into the final. One of the fastest entry times, but Nuala Gow and Erin Taylor, we know they'll come through very strong in the breaststroke section, Lynn.
Yeah, Isabel was second in the Scottish Summer Meet in this event last year. Her entry time is 5:12, and she's looking really good at the moment on the backstroke leg. Breaststroke obviously to come, that so often the decider. Swimming well over in lane 9, Kirsty Gilmore, South Lanarkshire. So Kirsty Gilmore's entry time 5:22, so she looks as though she's doing really well on the outside lane there alongside Phoebe Arbuckle, who we know has got a strong back end.
Heidi Wren, as we expect, on the backstroke section, pulling up. So Isabel and Heidi first and second. Kirsty Gilmore over that far side, and Phoebe Arbuckle. Reasonable breaststrokes, but we expect the 2 middle lanes to come through. Erin Taylor and Nuala Gow making a move. Erin Taylor beginning to get the bit between her teeth as well. We'll have a big change after we get to the other end, Lynn.
Yeah, I mean, so many of these girls have done their 200 metres breaststroke already. It'll be interesting to see if they elect to swim both of the finals this evening, because there will be less of a gap in the finals this evening. It's Nuala Gow now, Geary swimmer, 18 years old this year, so away to uni after the summer. And stretching out away. Erin Taylor going with her. Erin Taylor and Nuala will have quite a battle this evening. But Nuala Gow just now stretching out in lane 4, and it's the 2 blue caps in the middle. Geary and Finns.
The thing is, they've been contesting this sort of event for years, Lynn, so tonight we'll have a cracking race between the 2 of them, I'm sure. Nuala Gow 3:58.96 and Erin Taylor will all change. They were well behind after the first half, but you can see 42s for breaststroke, and other swimmers maybe 46s, 47s, 50s even. Good breaststroke almost destroys the field.
Yeah, we made mention of that earlier on, didn't we, as we saw those fly specialists, backstroke specialists moving to the 4, how often the breaststroke leg decides it. Amy McLeod now the best of the rest for City of Glasgow, having seen Heidi Wren move so far ahead on the fly and the backstroke. Amy McLeod a really good breaststroke leg, and through now into third place in this heat. Nuala Gal though, and Erin Taylor out in front. Isabel Wood, Tegan Black, still in the race and racing between the two of them, hopefully bringing themselves onto a reasonably fast time, good enough for a reasonable centre lane in the finals this evening if that's what they want to do. But Nuala Gal, I think, is going to be the fastest through to the finals this evening based on what we've seen so far. Nuala Gal and Erin Taylor coming into us. Well, in fact, she's not, is she?
Well,
so that time from Susie McNair, looking fairly comfortable, 5:09 is the fastest through to the finals this evening. Different age group though, so Nuala will take the centre lane in the 17-18 age group, and Erin Taylor alongside her.
Yeah, I think that was a soft touch. It came up as 5:14.
And so there we have it, that's the summary. Nuala Gal, Susie McNair, Erin Taylor topping that list of swimmers from the heats this morning, and that's the end of the 400 metres individual medley, and we have the results through already. So finalists for this evening, the 15-year age group: Coco Croxford, Phoebe Arbuckle, Ellie Kennedy, Sydney Boyd, Kirsten Mackay, Alice Cumming, Layla Weatherspoon, Macy Carty, Ellen Denny and Freya Beaton. Reserves are Melissa Menny and Rosie Heaps. And the 16-year age group: Susie McNair, Tegan Black, Charlotte Thompson, Georgia Dickey, Caris Mooney, Tia Aitken, Louise Connell, Zara Innes, Gemma Brown, Heidi Wren, and the reserves are Fern Gray and Jessica Powell.
17-18-year-olds: Nuala Gal, Erin Taylor, Amy McLeod, Lexine McCappin, Isabel Wood, Stella McCarthy, Kirsty Gilmore, India Marshall, Alicia Gruban, Ava Kirkham, Rebecca Somerville and Victoria Niven are two reserves. No swim off, thankfully, for the 400 IM Lynn. Just as well.
Looking unlikely.
So we're still with 400. It's freestyle now. 5 heats for the boys, and again final places up for grabs in this one, Lynn.
Yes, to finals for the 400 metres freestyle. There's not many opportunities for our swimmers to swim heats and finals of events that have got 400 metres. The only place really in Scotland will be, well, I suppose the international meets like Glasgow International, for those who are really at the top of their game, the Edinburgh International, and here at the Scottish National Age Groups.
So we have Callum Ferguson in 0 from South Lanarkshire, 1 Tom Armitage Silent Swim Team, 2 Jensen Norris Perth City, 3 Luke Garrity Inverclyde, 4 Tom Jeffers Ren 96, 5 Taylor Hutton Incas, 6 Dan Hall University of Aberdeen Performance, 7 Torrin Liversedge South Aberdeenshire, 8 Inniscow Geary, and 9 Finlay Geddes from Lerwick. 102.59 for Jensen Norris per swimmer.
Taylor Hutton leading trio swimmers in lanes 4, 5 and 6.
5, 6 and 4 well there. Jensen Norris, Taylor Hutton, Tom Armitage on this side, Dan Hall and Tom Jeffers. Not much between them, Lynn. Barely a second between the first 5.
Jensen, his entry time 4:34.45. He swam at the North District age groups when he won the bronze medal in the age group in this event. It's dual age bands at the North District event, so that would have been in the 16-17 year age group. Oh no, it wouldn't. He's 15. It would have been 14-15 year age group. And just Tom Armitage moving through there. Not much of a lead, 2:12.87. But the fastest split down that last 50 and into the final half of the race. It's a swimmer in lane 2, Jensen Norris, Perth City. Alongside him, Tom Armitage from Highland. Between these two at the moment, Tom Armitage moving through again from Highland. Tom Armitage representing the Highland swim team. opened out a little bit of a gap during the swim. Caught up by Jensen Norris on the turn. So often the way, isn't it?
This is where the race really develops. With just over 100 to go, if someone's going to make a bit of a move, and Tom Armitage certainly looks that way, Lynn.
Yes, I'm not sure what Tom Armitage's home club is. Like I say, Highland Swim Team drawn from a whole host of different clubs across the north of Scotland, all the way over to the west in Loch Arbour. Nairn, I think, is the most southerly club, and then all the way up to Wick and Thurso, Dingwall and Tain, and everywhere in the middle as well. Tom Armitage looking good.
Dan Hall still well there in lane 6. He's a serious threat coming through. Tom Jeffers not out of it either at the moment. Jensen Norris maybe biding his time here, Lynn, just on the shoulder of Tom Armitage.
Yeah, again a much better turn so from the swimmer in lane 2, but Tom Armitage really looked very determined down the previous length. All of them swimming faster than they swam in the previous 50, so they are accelerating as they come towards the finish of the race. What a great race between these two coming in towards the finish.
Two side by side here. It's I think Jensen Norris is maybe just going to sneak this one. Jensen Norris is going to get that one from Tom Armitage, and over in lane 6 Dan Hall will get 3rd.
Good improvements for both of those swimmers. 4:28.93, 4:29.14, and Dan Hall, yes, in 3rd place, 4:32, so an improvement for him as well. So that's the first heat. We've got 4 more to come.
4 more to come.
And 4:28.93, the time that's been set from the first heat. So that's the target, the first target for everybody.
First target, yep.
Heat number 2, we have Adam Thompson in lane 0 from South Ayrshire. Ewan Mitchell goes in 1 for South Lanarkshire. In lane 2, Taylor Sinclair Elgin. Lane 3, Lewis Gibson, South Ayrshire. In lane 4, Ross Anderton, East Lothian. In lane 5, Rory Calvert from First. In lane 6, Gregor Ross, City of Glasgow. 7, Harry Keogh goes for Ren 96. In lane 8, Aidan Bruce from Aberdeen. And in lane 9, Lewis Gow from Tiverton. That looked safely away. And nice long underwater work from the swimmer in lane 4, Ross Anderton from East Lothian. Moving through well in lane 0 though, Adam Thompson from South Ayrshire. And in 2, Taylor Sinclair representing Elgin. So over here on the spectator side, I think we're going to see the first turn.
Rory Calvert perhaps up there as well. Taylor Sinclair 29.32, 29.33, nothing between them. At half a second cover for the first 5 swimmers.
Elgin coming through, Taylor Sinclair.
Again. Yeah.
Taylor Sinclair, 6th in the North District age groups. He was 10th, so he made the final in the Scottish Summer Meet last year. Was that held in Aberdeen, or I think it was in Aberdeen?
It was in Aberdeen last year, Lynn.
Yeah, so 10th at that meet last year. Swimming in the 16-year age group was Taylor, 101.4, so a little bit of a gap there. Rory Calvert in 2nd.
Yeah, Summer Meet this year, I think Lynn is being held up here again.
I think it is up here. We had the Open and the Summer Meet in Aberdeen last year, which it's a bit of a challenge logistically, I think, for a lot of swimmers, but the Open, I believe, is in Glasgow this year.
Yeah, the Scottish Open Meet is in Tollcross at the end of June, beginning of July, and a couple of weeks later, as you say, the Summer Meet up here, 14th, 15th, 16th of July. That's one that I'll be up at. I don't know if you're here for that one, Lynn.
I'm going on holiday.
You're on holiday, yeah. I'll only be here Saturday, Sunday. I have a graduation to attend on a Friday, so I won't be here if it's Thursday night, Friday. I usually officiate at that meet.
Ross Anderton coming through now
Yeah.
in lane 4. I was wondering when he was going to make his move.
He's East District champion, so you expect him to make a move now after halfway, just biding his time.
He took a fairly easy, I think, first half of the race, but you could just see him coming down on that fourth length, just starting to ease his way through, and he's just gone past now Rory Calvert from first. It's the East Lothian swimmer coming up to challenge Taylor Sinclair from Elgin, just as we approach the turn. He's not quite going to get them, maybe he is. Oh, turning over together. It just goes to show how deceptive it is, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes that fast rotation that you see from the swimmers with their great skills and pushing off the wall there first, it's still Rory Calvert from first in the middle lane, and now battling it out with Ross Anderton from East Lothian, and it looks as though as we come towards the latter parts of the race that it's going to be between these two. Fastest entry times, of course, they've got.
Rory's not been competing in the pool very much. He's come back in the last month or so, swam at the Pre-Snags meet in Glasgow just a few weeks ago, and won that event. That's where his entry time comes from. Probably did that so they could update his times. Has been a pretty useful swimmer in the past, but maybe want to prove to everybody that he's still got it. So not much between the two.
Yeah, Adam Thompson, who had such a good first 50, is now coming good towards the end again, pushing up towards third place. Third place at the moment currently held by Gregor Ross from City of Glasgow, but the South Ayrshire swimmer is looking to challenge, and that also going well in lane 8. Aidan Bruce from Aberdeen. I think it's the first time that we've mentioned him, but it's between the two centre lanes just now, and at the moment
Calvert looks good.
He does.
This might be the fastest time for 400.
4:28.93 set in the previous heat. It's going to be inside that 4:26.80 for Rory Calvert to take that heat. Ross Anderton in second. Fast finishing Aidan Bruce finishing in third place for Aberdeen amateurs.
Well, you'd fancy that certainly Ross Anderton, that will get him into a final, and I'm also pretty certain that Jensen Norris will get it. The previous heat will also get him into a final in the 15-year-old age group category. As we move on to our third of 5 heats. 0, Ewan Weir, Dundee City Aquatics. 1 is Greg Hall, University of Aberdeen Performance. 2, Kenzie McLean, Perth City. 3, Leighton Burr, University of Aberdeen Performance. 4, Callum Gold, Aberdeen Dolphins. 5, James Bodie from Geary. 6 is Robbie Thompson, Shetland. 7, Caelan Johnson, Lerwick. 8, Oscar Chirnside, Geary. And 9, Thomas Traynor, South Lanarkshire.
Strong start in 6th from the Shetland swimmer Robbie Thompson, also going well, and just outside the centre lanes in 3, Leighton Burr, University of Aberdeen Performance. They're the first to turn, 28.98, so that's the fastest split we've seen so far. Leighton Burr in second and Callum Gould in third. So no more 15-year-olds after this heat, and we've got 15-year-olds in quite a few of the lanes. 15 is Ewan Weir from Dundee City Aquatics in 0. Kenzie McLean, Perth City, goes in 2, he's 15. And also Oscar Chirnside from Geary.
So you reckon, Lynn, something probably in the low 430s would be more than good enough to get them into a final? I know it's slower than their entry time, but they've got plenty of scope.
15-year-olds, yeah.
For the 15-year-olds,
yes,
yeah.
Sorry,
yeah. They're in the sort of mid to high 420s.
Yeah, it was Leighton Burr who turned first at the 100 metre mark, and still Leighton Burr, maybe just with the lead. We're swimming well on in 9. Thomas Traynor.
Yeah, the South Lanarkshire swimmer. Yeah, they expect him to be finishing very strongly. He won't have a problem with the distance. Up at East Kilbride, he's East Kilbride based from the South Lanarkshire, and as you know, Lynn, they do kind of like Geary. Just about anything and everything.
Yes. Yes, and Oscar Churnside alongside him, we know that he doesn't have any problems towards the back end of a race either, but it's Thomas Traynor really taking them out now, coming in towards the halfway mark last time, inside that 2:09.12. James Body in second place, the second Geary swimmer in lane 5, so in a central lane 2:10 exactly. And Oscar Churnside coming up now to challenge that in lane 8.
He's only 5th at the moment, but he's a pretty close 5th, or he was a pretty close 5th.
Yeah, I
He's
think he
going
might be
pretty
now
well
a
now.
pretty close second.
Yeah.
There are 4 swimmers in a line, to be fair, for that second
it's quite
place.
tight.
Yeah, Thomas Traynor out in front though, still from South Lanarkshire, make that move during that second 100, and he's managed to maintain his lead. He's got a good couple of body lengths clear, 2:42.42, so just over 2 seconds clear of the second place swimmer, and looking pretty comfortable. Are South Lanarkshire over on the far side, or are they through in the main pool?
No, they're over at the far side. I think I did see Alan McGowan at some point over that far side, one of the South Lanarkshire coaches.
Yeah, so Thomas Traynor first of all, 3:16.85, and then it's a battle for second place at the moment between James Body and Oscar Churnside, both Geary swimmers. Less than a second between those two. In 4th place just now, Callum Gold. Callum, an Aberdeen Dolphins swimmer, swimming in the 16-year age group, alongside James Body from Geary. James Body just moving ahead now, I think, of Oscar Churnside, and Callum Gold coming up. Well, I think he's hoping that he will challenge and coming through nicely in lane 2 from Perth City, Kenzie McLean. But the South Lancashire swimmer looks to have got this one.
The 3 15-year-old boys are going fairly steadily. Okay, they're not going to win this one, but they're all good for the final.
Yeah, James Body accelerating down the final length though. Obviously saved a bit just for the end there. James Body, the 16-year-old swimmer from Geary, and he's battled up to come alongside Thomas Traynor, but Thomas Traynor giving it big welly, trying to make it back. He's not going to beat James Body. He's going to take this heat 3. So 4:25.90 James Body's entry time, 4:23.01, so nearly 3 seconds of an improvement for him. Thomas Traynor in second, Kenzie McLean it was in 3rd place.
Well, Kenzie, Ewan and Oscar, the 3 50-year-olds, 3rd, 4th and 5th, all I think slightly faster on entry times as well, and so...
and unfortunately there was a technical infraction there. I think that was lane 7. I didn't see anything wrong, we must have missed that. So inside the top 20 now, we have 2 cyclically seeded heats for events of 400 and over. There are 3 for events that are of a distance less than 400 metres, so just the 2 here. In lane 0 we've got Ewan Jones from West Lothian, in lane 1 Zach Slater of East Lothian. Ben McLaughlin goes in lane 2 for Geary. In lane 3, Scott Fleming. Saw that super 200 fly from him earlier, representing South Lanarkshire is Scott. In lane 4, Finn Drysdale, Perth City. Brodie Gordon Gibson goes in lane 5 for Warren Bath Club. In lane 6, Jack Simpson, South Lanarkshire. Kai Connolly, City Glasgow swimmer, goes in lane 7. Adam Scott, Ren 96 in lane 8. And Fergus Curry goes in 9 for Mulgai and Bearston. And this is a beautiful arrow formation.
It is a lovely arrow formation, and we haven't had that at all.
58.13 after the first 100 for Finn Drysdale. Fastest seed, entry time for him, Perth City swimmer, is 4:05.57, although he did swim faster than that, 4:02.07, to come 3rd in the junior final at the British Championships last week. His entry time, like I say, 3.5 seconds behind that, so you can expect good things from Finn in the final. Swimming next to him, Brodie Gordon Gibson. Warren Bath Club swimmer, so 2 red caps in the centre lanes.
31's got a signing here last year. And he's sticking with Finn at the moment.
Well, in the past we've had Scott Fleming in this one, 17-year-old this year. In the next heat we have Luke Hornsey, who should be going, also 17 this year. Last year 6-year-olds, and in the past have been nip and tuck against one another. Luke Hornsey has been the one that's come out on top. But of course they move into the 17-18-year-old category, and as you say, Lynn, they've got other guys to contend with as well.
Yeah, Scott was 9th in the British Summer Championships in this event last year, so I say winner of the 200 fly, so 2 strong events for him in one session. Well, we mentioned that with the girls with their 200 breaststroke and 400 metres individual medley. Again, a tough gig really, a 400 free and 200 fly. But mind you, he's not the only one.
He won't be the only one, no.
Brodie Gordon-Gibson was in the 200 metres butterfly as well for Warren Bath Club. Fair distance, you know, a fair amount of time between the two. It won't be quite as long this evening's finals sessions, but it is still Finn Drysdale out in front for Perth City. So 3:03.58, just a second and a half ahead of Warren Bath Club, Brodie Gordon-Gibson. And Scott Fleming in 3rd place, and these 3 quite a long way clear of the rest of the field. 4:7.48. Finn Drysdale then, Perth City out in front. A second and a half is advantage. It looks as though it's a little bit more than that as we come in towards the final turn. 3:34.72, and Brodie Gordon-Gibson going over in 2nd, so the gap now over 2.5 seconds, and Finn Drysdale looks as though he's got this one sewed up. It's just a question of what time he's going to go.
Yeah, I saw him getting plenty of encouragement from Ann Dixon on your shot just a moment ago when he was coming up on the penultimate 50.
Scott Fleming coming through quickly on this final leg. I don't think he's quite going to reach Brodie Gordon-Gibson. He doesn't, but that's the win. Finn Drysdale, 30.59 that last length, 4:05.31. Brodie Gordon-Gibson, 4:08.89, and a fast finishing Scott Fleming in 4:09.33. So quite a lot faster than
they actually were going for it in that one, Lynn.
I think so.
All 3 lads faster than their entry time. So good to see them actually going for it in the heats rather than just easing off.
More to come tonight.
So the very last of the 2 seeded heats, Jacob Woodin 0 from Elgin, 1 Sidar Gulen, Rhondda Bass, teammate James Burnett, and 2 Nathan Campbell, 3 from Stirling Swimming, 4 Evan Davidson, Perth City, 5 Luke Hornsey, East Lothian Swim Team, 6 is Finlay Davis, Midlothian, 7 William Shepherd, Perth City, 8 Owen Williamson, East Lothian Swim Team, and 9 Gregor Skinner from First. Well, with the exception of a couple of lads, James Burnett and 2 Evan Davidson in 4, all these in the 17-18-year-old category, so I'm sure though a lot of them will be going for it in this one.
Owen Williamson really taking it out there in lane 8, because I mean this is another exciting heat really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Luke Hornsey, he's been swimming really good distance freestyle of late, 28 seconds, so he's in 2nd place just now. Evan Davidson we'd see as being potentially the favourite to take this heat, but he's taking it easy. Well, I think he's taking it easy.
Yeah, it looks as though he's taking it easy, pretty steadily at the moment.
Still lane 8, Owen Williamson and Luke Hornsey. 2 East Lothian swimmers taking this heat out, 58.32. So just 0.2 slower than the previous heat. And Owen Williamson looks like he's eased off, or maybe that's unfair, perhaps Luke Hornsey has really pushed it on, but I think Luke Hornsey in lane 5 moved easily through to the front of the race, and he looks pretty comfortable out there in front, doesn't he? That's no fast stroke break there, is there?
Evan Davison turning in 3rd, looks still pretty comfortable then.
Yeah, still anybody's race. 1:30.23. Luke Hornsey, 3 seconds back. Evan Davidson, and between the two of them in lane 3, Nathan Campbell, Sterling swimmer. Still lane 5, Luke Hornsey, East Lothian, just easing away there. So he was 7th in the British Championships last week in the junior final and swam a time there of 2 seconds faster than his entry time of 4:06. So again looking to secure a good place in the final this evening.
He looks very relaxed, doesn't he, Lynn, from that camera angle?
He does, and we've got some swimmers working really hard behind him.
Yeah.
Nathan Campbell still looks quite comfortable. Evan Davidson alongside him in 3rd place, and then a line of 3 red-hatted swimmers, Cider Gullen, James Burnett and William Shepherd, all vying for that 4th place, and they look as though they're working quite hard, moving through now in lane 6. That's Finlay Davis from Midlothian.
You wonder if he's just biding his time as well. Maybe he thinks I've got still a bit left in the tank for the final 100 or so.
7 or 8 metres clear now, Luke Hornsey from East
Yeah,
Lothian.
he's well clear.
3:06.61 with 100 metres to go. And Evan Davidson looks as though he's decided he's going to make a move, drawing up alongside Nathan Campbell from Sterling Swim. Nathan Campbell's not giving way though. It's a bit of a battle there for second. The 2 swimmers in the red caps, the Warren de Bar swimmers in 1 and 2, look as though they're doing their best to come up on terms. Cider Gullen and James Burnett. Cider Gullen making some good inroads there on the 2nd place swimmers, but Luke Hornsey's still looking very easy out in front.
He does, doesn't he?
A very long and relaxed stroke.
They have very relaxed arms, aren't they?
Evan Davidson just pushing it on now and has just gone past Nathan Campbell into 2nd place, but they're working quite hard, and Cider Gullen as well making a move in lane 1. Don't think he's going to catch them. Luke Hornsey with an effortless looking 4:12.64. I'm sure it wasn't, but looking very easy. Evan Davidson did get past Nathan Campbell to take 2nd place in that race, 4:15.75. Nathan just a couple of tenths back in 4:15.95. Very fast finishing Cider Gullen there in 4th place. That'll be an interesting final this evening.
It will be a very interesting final this evening. So we can give you the finalists for that 400 free in the 15-year-old category: Kenzie McLean, Ewan McWeir, Oscar Chirnside, Ross Anderton, Jensen Norris, Aidan Bruce, Gregor Ross, Lewis Gibson, Lewis Gow and Tom Jeffords. Taylor Hutton and Finlay Gerris are our 2 reserves. In the 16-year-old category: Evan Davison, Zach Slater, James Burnett, James Bodie, Kai Connolly, Thomas Traynor, Rory Calvert, Callum Gold, Tom Armitage, Adam Scott, with Adam Thompson and Dan Hall, and our 17-18-year-olds: Finn Drysdale, Brodie Gordon Gibson, Scott Fleming, Luke Hornsey, Nathan Campbell, Cyril Golan, Ben McLaughlin, Jack Simpson, William Shepherd, Finlay Davis, Gregor Skinner and Owen Williamson are reserves. Well, it's a bit of fun now to look forward to. Is swim off.
Yeah, just testing the starting equipment there. Alex Stewart goes in lane 4 and Robbie Carlisle in lane 5. Alex Stewart, Highland Swim Team, Robbie Carlisle, South Lanarkshire Swim. Good start there from Alex Stewart. Better underwater work though from Robbie Carlisle. I think they'll come up pretty much together. Racing down towards the finish. It's Robbie Carlisle just now in lane 5, the South Lanarkshire swimmer. Just ahead, you can't see from the camera shot that we've got at the moment. It's going to be very close indeed as we come in towards the finish. I think that Alex Stewart's got faster stroke rate as we come in towards the finish. I think he's just going to nudge ahead on the touch. Ooh. 31.7, Alexander Stewart. 4 100ths ahead of Robbie Carlyle in second place, 31.74. It was on the nod.
Well, that would have got them in the final if they'd swam that time. 32.26 is what they did earlier in the heats. They've gone massively faster, half a second.
Half a second faster. So often the way, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So that extra pressure that you've got of just being in a head-to-head, and with lots of shouting as well. So yeah, well done though. Well done to Alex Stewart making it through.
Well
to
done,
the
lads.
final there.
So first and second reserve, Alex.
Oh, not quite.
Not quite, but it's first.
Yeah.
But at least he's first reserve, and he's
And he's got a better time.
got a better time. Yeah.
So next up, we've got some medley relays.
Yeah, this is the real fun of the morning. 3 heats for the girls, 14 to 16, 4x100 medley relay. Dundee City Aquatics, Anna Easton. Highland Swim Team, Emily McDougall. City Glasgow D Team, Abigail Crawford. And East Lothian Swim B Team with Caitlin Peebles.
So looking for places in the British Summer Championships, as well as to perform well here at the Scottish National Age Group Championships. 14 to 16-year-old swimmers in the water just now.
And if any of those teams in this heat get into the British Championships, they'll be
absolutely cock-a-hoop.
Yeah, indeed.
Just now it's the City of Glasgow D team out in front. City of Glasgow with a lot of form in the relays, really, haven't they? I mean, they did really well in the club championships back at the end of last year, right at the end of last year, wasn't it?
Yeah,
with all 4
weekend.
of their teams winning their particular leagues. And it's a good strong start there from Abigail Crawford, just 14 in lane 5. Closest to her it's Anna Easton from Dundee City Aquatics in lane 3. But I think Abigail Crawford's going to hand over a lead to her City of Glasgow teammate Ava Ross, who goes in to do the breaststroke. So Dundee City Aquatics in second, and in the water now for them it's Isla Gilmurray. Highland Swim Team in third place. Highland, it's Eva Robertson goes in for them, another 14-year-old swimmer. And it's still all to play for East Lothian in the water just now. It's Grace Hannock. But still City of Glasgow out in front. Eva Robertson in lane 5. And Dundee City Aquatics still in second, Isla Gilmurray, but it's the Highland swimmer Eva Robertson. Perhaps just moving up a little bit closer towards second place there. Let's see our judges checking the turns.
Well, I'm making a wee bit headway, Lynn.
Yeah, I think they are closing up. Dundee City Aquatics swimmer Isla Gilmurray just starting to make a move towards the Glasgow swimmer Ava Ross. You can see the swimmers on the blocks there, just about ready to go. Still quite young swimmers these, so they'll probably not be doing step over turns, but as I say that, you might see some from some of the bigger teams who will have been practicing in readiness for this. And you can see there the City of Glasgow swimmer with her foot behind the back plate. Into the water there, 2:32.84 City of Glasgow, 2:34.12 Dundee City Aquatics into the water for Glasgow. It's Gina Wren on the fly leg. Dundee City Aquatics Riley McIntosh. Highland Swim Team have Caitlin Urquhart swimming the fly, and it's Ava Marco for East Lothian. And the race is still on. City of Glasgow still in front though, Gina Wren. First to the wall, 3:04.32, 2 seconds the gap was at the takeover. It's now 3.5 seconds. Dundee City Aquatics in second place, but a really strong turn there from the Lothian swimmer Ava Marco, pushes herself out in front and into second place. Really close on the for the second place here, but City of Glasgow out in front as they have been right from the very beginning. Gina Wren perhaps just starting to fade as we come in towards the final takeover, and you can see the feet possessions there for that at step over start. So we have flyers and the takeovers. They're tested not only by the judges. That was a very safe takeover.
Yes, it was indeed, wasn't it?
Yeah, into the water goes Daisy McInnes there for City of Glasgow, and in second place it was the Highland Swim team. Alison Wood goes in the water for them for Highland Swim team. She's 16. Phoebe Sampson goes in for Dundee City Aquatics on the freestyle legs, and it's Lucy Hall for East Lothian. At City of Glasgow, the D team still swimming well, and it looks as though it's going to go pretty much with the City of Glasgow swim team and Highland swim team in second. Alison Wood going for them in second place. East Lothian starting to make a move though, perhaps Lucy Hall just starting to catch Alison Wood. I don't think she is going to catch her down this final leg because they're into the final 25 now, and it's going to be City of Glasgow coming in now. Daisy McInnes for them, 14-year-old swimmer, 4:51.02 their entry time, just behind the Highland swim team time of 4 minute 50.74. City of Glasgow is though 4:47.91 for the first heat. Highland swim team do take second and 4:54.04. East Lothian in third, 4:54.95. We'll just be getting the takeovers checked, but that looks like an official result.
It is indeed, Lynn.
So City of Glasgow, Highland swim, and those are the times to beat.
Move on to the second of the three heats in 0. Carnegie Zaranis. 1. Mulgan Bearsden Abigail Hill. 2. South Ayrshire with Inga Cummings. 3. Aberdeen Dolphins Ailsa Club. 4. City Glasgow C Team Anna Tichenko. 5 is Falkhouse Penguins El McPhee. 6 is Best with Bronwyn Payne. 7. Aberdeen Performance Maria Howe. And 8 Swimmers Lothian with Chloe Merson. And 9 University of Aberdeen Performance B Team with Eva Smith.
Fastest seeds for this one then, City of Glasgow.
Yes, the C Team as well. The fastest in this heat. And they start in lane 6 and 7 by Best and University of Aberdeen Performance. Also on the far side, the B Team for Aberdeen Performance also going well. Lane 3, Aberdeen Dolphins Ailsa Club up with the mix. It looks like it might just be Aberdeen Dolphins, just with a touch. Nothing much in it though. In fact, it turning together with University of Aberdeen A, who had a slightly better turn there, Lynn.
Yes, better push off the wall. I think they touched pretty much together. They looked as though they were rotating over at about the same kind of pace, but definitely coming out ahead, Maria Howe. We do know Maria as a backstroker. She's a Colts Otters swimmer, but here, because all the clubs joined together to perform under the University of Aberdeen Performance banner, here she is swimming for University of Aberdeen, and a nice swim there, 1:08.58 for Maria Howe. Aberdeen Dolphins, that was Ailsa Club, wasn't it? So in second place.
So we'll run through the second swimmers. Carnegie have Iona Casapidis, M&B Ailey McNair, South Ayrshire Ailey Robertson, Aberdeen Dolphins Jessica Smith, City Glasgow C Madeline Patterson, Falkhouse Penguins Macy Carter, Borders Best Rather Amy Owenson, Aberdeen Performance A Jessica Kirkwood, Swimmer Lothian Lauren Anderson, and Aberdeen Performance B Tia Aiken.
Jessica Kirkwood looking good there for University of Aberdeen Performance, just 14, but she's pulled out much more of a lead from the one that she took out over, and going well now in 5, it's Falkhouse. Macy Carty in the water for them. I've got that lane wrong, haven't I? It was lane 6, the Best team, A.B. Owenson.
Yeah. Also making a move is Madeline Patterson for City Glasgow. And South Ayrshire Ailey Robertson carrying a very useful breaststroke for them, has brought them sort of into the mix, so to speak. And also Ailey McNair from M&B is pulled them into contention potentially. So Carnegie with Gemma Brown, M&B, Chloe Kirk, South Ayrshire, Sophie Steele, Aberdeen Dolphins, Kirsty Beacon, City Glasgow, Caris Mooney, Faulthouse, Alexandra Miller, Best with Ciara Pemble, Aberdeen Performance A, Madison Stewart, West Lothian, Ciara Anderson, and Aberdeen B, Emmy Aiken.
Nice takeover from Best team and Ciara Pemble. Just pushing them on ahead into the first place in this second heat. So moving past the University of Aberdeen Performance Swim team, Madison Stewart in the water for them, another 14-year-old swimmer. Glasgow through now into third place, and swimming for them it's Caris Mooney.
Aberdeen Dolphins making a wee move here. Kirsty Beacon getting them, I think, into third place, and they are flying. It's getting pretty tight with 100 to go. So advantage, I think, just with Best. Poppy Shaw goes in for them. Aberdeen Dolphins into second. Zolara Nethi and City Glasgow. Emily Dickens, Aberdeen Performance with Amber Whittle-John will concentrate on those four at the moment, Lynn, because that's where the race is. Best with the advantage. Aberdeen Dolphins, can they pull something out? City Glasgow within striking distance in third, but at the moment it's Best, Aberdeen Dolphins. I think that's where the potential win's going to come from, unless City Glasgow can pull something out the fire.
Yeah, it's a well tried and tested team, this team from Aberdeen Dolphins. We swim 4x100 long course relays for the individual sexes in our age group championships, and that was only a month ago. I think Isabella Abernethy has got a little bit left at the end, but it's going to be a really tight contest between her and Poppy Shaw coming in towards the finish. I don't think City of Glasgow are going to make it. I suspect it's Isabella Abernethy going to take this one
it's
for
Dolphins.
The Aberdeen Dolphins team. Just they're going to take this second heat. Aberdeen Dolphins take that one. 4:46.50, 4:47.39 Best, just holding on. In fact, that
City
looks
Glasgow
like
in second place.
it looks like a corrected time there.
They were second, Lynn, and Best in third, but they're cracking race again. Aberdeen Dolphins getting their swimmers just to come through strongly at the death to take that one.
And unfortunately a technical infraction there for the team from Mulgai and Bearsden. So that's a shame, but good result. Aberdeen Dolphins, City of Glasgow, and Best team there coming through the 1, 2, 3.
Final heat. Heart of Midlothian, Lucy Atherton in 0. Wonderbass B, Naomi Olsen. South Lanarkshire, Marissa Meni. East Lothian swim team, Zara Kravitz. Wonderbass A, Rosie Foster. City Glasgow A, Heidi Wren. Stirling swimming, Coco Coxford. City Glasgow B, Sophina Machin. First, Zusia Smith. Dumfries, Brooke Rogerson. And Wonderbass on paper about 5 and a bit seconds faster than City Glasgow, with East Lothian and Stirling swimming almost similar times, third and fourth fastest. But it's what happens in the pool, Lynn. We'd expect City Glasgow to get off to a raging start with Heidi Wren, and so she has. A very strong start. Coco Coxford with her. Stirling in lane 6. So at the moment, City Glasgow, Stirling, Wander probably in third place. East Lothian hanging in there in maybe 4th, 5th, or the far side. First in City Glasgow B team, also well there, but it's City Glasgow A, Stirling and Wander at the moment. Another great turn from Heidi Wren. Heidi Wren great on backstroke and using all her qualities to give them a nice healthy advantage through the body length there of the Wander and East Lothian teams, with Stirling, Coco Coxford well in there. So City Glasgow have Lucy Nimmo, Mai Rogers for Wander, Tegan Black, East Lothian, Perry Scobie, Stirling, other teams, Layla Witherspoon Hearts, Zara Smith, Wonder B, South Lanarkshire, Rebecca Cole, City Glasgow B, Eloise Kennedy, first Victoria Weir and Dumfries Mirren Gibb.
Yeah, that was quite interesting because my start list is obviously an old one, and I thought Susie McNair was going to be swimming that backstroke leg. In fact, it was Coco Croxford for Stirling because I thought it might have been a bit closer.
Yeah.
Heidi Wren, of course, the silver medalist last night in the 200 metres backstroke. What a good backstroke leg she just had there to take the City of Glasgow swim team out there onto the breaststroke. Warren de Bath's club, oh look at that, 1.2 seconds faster over that first 50, and Warren de Bath's club definitely catching up there. That's my Rogers on the breaststroke, where we've got Lucy Nimmo in the water for Glasgow, and Stirling Swim just going to come through, and it looks like we have for Stirling Swim, who have we got there in the water for them?
Perry Scobie, a very useful breaststroker. That is her event, Perry Scobie's event, and she's given them every chance, but Warren My Rogers will pass on to Kiana Kurtza. Rosie Liston will go in for City Glasgow. Eva Gordon will go in for Stirling. It's probably between those three, Lynn. Unless something changes dramatically. It's Warner, City Glasgow and Stirling. It's as we were, and a cracking butterfly for Kiana Kurtza. She's put some daylight between the other two, who might have to settle for a silver medal here. We'll wait and see what happens down the second lane, but Kiana Kurtza's gone off very strongly in that first 50.
Yeah, Stirling Swim, having originally tabled Susie McNair for their backstroke leg, have put her on the anchor leg, and she'll be swimming the freestyle. So I fancy they'll get pretty close, but I mean, Warrender looking really good now. As you say, fastest entry time in, and Kiana Kurtza looks as though she's tiring, but she's got a full body length ahead now of the City of Glasgow swimmer Rosie Liston. Rosie Liston she's a body length and a half behind now, and her stroke has started to shorten as well. The relay can get you going so much on that first 50 that it can be difficult to bring it home on the second, but the girl's doing really well.
Wanda Bass, I think I've got this one wrapped up here, and I lost Ashley Drake for them. Louise Connell for City Glasgow will do well to hold off Susie McNair for that silver. We also have Anna Lawson for East Lothian, but this is Wanda Bass. It's all about second place. Can Susie McNair get past City Glasgow to snatch second? That's I think what we're interested in, Lynn, second and third, because Wanda have got this one well wrapped up with that cracking butterfly from Kiana Kurtza.
And double points for the relays too.
Well, here comes Susie McNair to challenge City Glasgow. So it's Stirling and City Glasgow for the minor places. Wanda have got this wrapped up. Stirling are going to get second, and City Glasgow are going to get third. That's what I'm predicting, Lynn. It's Wanda Bass coming home very, very comfortably indeed. Ashley Drake brings them home. Susie McNair does the business in second place for Stirling and gets them second place. Louise Connell in third place for City Glasgow. So well done, Wanda Bass. 4:29.39, Stirling 4:34.14, and City Glasgow 4:34.85 in third. So that's our medalist, Lynn.
She was a long way ahead, but that was a really fast leg there from Ashley Drake, Warren de Bath's club. She extended her lead and she pulled out ahead. I thought she was great. That was a really good, strong swim. 4:29.39, very respectable. Not as fast as their entry time, but still good, very good nonetheless.
South Lanarkshire finishing in fourth place. Well done to South Lanarkshire. That's useful points for them. They're in the top 10. That'll probably solidify their top 10 position as we are going into the end of half of day 2 for heats anyway.
So the 17 and over.
No points in this one, Lynn, but more excitement coming. 2 heats ahead.
What a lot of relays. Yeah, so 17 and over girls coming up next. I'm going to use Robert's start sheet because it's more up to date than mine is. Just 3 teams in the first heat?
Just 3 in the first heat, Lynn, yeah.
Yeah, so Mulgai and Bearsden, they're in lane 3, Geary are in lane 4, and Stirling are in lane 5. Jocelyn McKenzie leads off Mulgai and Bearsden. Catherine Boddy for Geary. and Sterling Swim are led off by Melissa Turnbull. It's great that there are so many teams
It's
able
fantastic,
to field
yeah.
17 and over.
It's great to have so many
teams.
17 overs taking part. And of course, as we had yesterday, we'll have some teams with no 17, 18-year-olds that will be older swimmers, probably from some of the university teams.
Yeah, and it looks like we've only got 2 teams that have actually made it. So a bit of a shame there in lane 4 and 5, so that's Geary and Sterling Swim. Both A teams.
Yeah.
Mulgai and Breaststroke electing not to swim. Just now it's the Sterling swimming team, Melissa Turnbull, just edging out Catherine Body in the first leg of this race. Not much in it as they come towards the halfway mark of the backstroke. And one more heat to come with 9 teams taking
9
field.
teams.
A nice turn there, Melissa Turnbull coming up ahead again. Catherine Body in second place.
The good thing is, Lynn, on entry times they're separated by just around a second, so fingers crossed both swimmers in both teams will be beside one another throughout, and we'll get a good exciting contest. I know it's only two swimmers, but somebody will want to win it.
Yeah, and some of these girls have been really busy already this morning. Nuala Gow's going in for Geary now, and of course she swung 200 breaststroke and 400 metres individual medley. Tara Montgomery in for Sterling Swim. I think her time out in front is limited just now, but it'll be nip and tuck as we go through the race. Nuala Gow just moving through there in the blue cap of Geary.
She'll want to maximise her strength on the breaststroke, Lynn, to give Geary every chance of taking this one.
And she's doing that though. I think she's doing that quite nicely. A small deficit she had when she took over onto the breaststroke leg, 1:46.63 there at the halfway mark. So nearly 3 seconds her lead at halfway through the breaststroke, and if she can extend that a little bit more, I think Geary could potentially come home quite comfortably in first place. But still 2.5 legs to go. Do you know, I can always. Why do they swim the medley relay in a different order to the individual medley?
Are you asking me for an answer on that one? No, it's not a test. I think it's because the backstroke, they have to start in the water with the backstroke, Lynn.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing.
Well, I suppose the dive start for the individual medley would make it less.
And as someone has said to me, it's easier to understand it for the medley because it's alphabetical.
For the medley relay, yes.
The medley relay.
Yeah. It's an interesting one for those new judges and new parents. So backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly, front crawl for the medley relay, but fly back breast free for the individual event. I think Sterling are catching.
Yeah, well, they've got 2 pretty useful 18-year-olds. Isabel Wood, who's already had at least one swim today, and Cara Gordon on the freestyle, who's very, very strong on freestyle. So we might have a bit of a race in our hands. We certainly have a bit of a race at the moment. Isabel Wood is got plenty in the tank here. Joanna McKenzie just beginning to tie up. She'll be glad when that wall comes, because she's found that Isabel Wood gone past her.
Yeah, strong fly leg there from Isabel Wood, just exactly what you'd expect really. Geary do get the opportunity to train here at the Aberdeen Sports Village, but just a bit too much for Johanna McKenzie to hold on to that lead.
Yeah.
And as you say, a strong freestyle swimmer there in Cara Gordon for Sterling Swim.
Yeah.
That's going to be a bit of a battle for Iona Leishman, the Geary swimmer. Well, she's given it a good go down the first length of this 100.
Yeah, Cara Gordon is the West District Open Water Senior Ladies Champion. So
you're up on your open water, aren't you?
I love the open water, Lynn. So I'm hoping Cara will be taking part at Loch Venacher on the 29th of July to defend that. Her wee sister was the junior champion, Eva Gordon. There is also another Eva Gordon, a 12-year-old who swims for City of Glasgow, who is a pretty useful swimmer. So young Eva Gordon, if you want to have a go at some open water, you know who to get in touch with.
4:43.88. That's the benchmark for the second heat of the 17 and over girls. So no points for this one.
No points, but there are medals.
There are medals. There is.
And the honour of winning.
And becoming the Scottish champions.
So we have in 0 the Highland swim team with Elizabeth Morgan. City Glasgow's B team Ella Stevenson. Dundee City Aquatics Fern Crichton. Aberdeen Performance A Mary Wood. And they are all over 18, Lynn. 19, 22 and 21. Stirling University of Stirling A, again they're over 20, Scarlett Ferris. City Glasgow A, Amy Shields. Warner Baths, Anna Green. Hearts with Holly McGill. And East Lothian with Emma Finlay. As you say, 9 teams go. We don't have a lane 9. And we will find that Amy Shields, Anna Green, Holly McGill, useful backstrokers along with Scarlett Ferris. And they're all going pretty well, almost 5 in a row here. So off the turn, it's Hearts just with a slight advantage, but nothing in it, Lynn.
No, some really strong swimmers in this heat. I mean, Scarlett Ferris now at Stirling University, formerly of Dundee City Aquatics, super fast, 50 backstroke, but really strong 100 as well. But Holly McGill, of course, Commonwealth Games swimmer, and we've got Amy Shields. What really strong. Oh, look at that in lane 7. So lane 7. Holly McGill.
So I'll give you all the swimmers that are going in. For Highland, Niamh Carey, City Glasgow B, Ciara Davison, Dundee with Lucy Stoves, Aberdeen Performance, Caelan Hall, Stirling A with Vicky Russell, City Glasgow, Amy McLeod, Warder with Ailey Stewart, Hearts with Erica Watt, and East Lothian with Ailey Armstrong. So lane 5, City Glasgow, Amy McLeod.
Look at her go.
Yeah.
So Amy McLeod moving past Ailey Stewart, Warrender Bath Club, in turn moving past Erica Watt, Heart of Midlothian. So top 3, but they've reversed the order, 1, 2, 3 to 3, 2, 1. But really strong swim here from Amy McLeod, City of Glasgow swimmer. The other City of Glasgow swim team, Team B, are looking pretty good in lane 1 as well.
Pretty well, Ciara Davison, yeah. And Stirling University in lane 4 will hope to bring something special out in the second half. At the moment, City Glasgow looking good, one. Stella McCarty on the butterfly section will be a big benefit for them now. Ciara Morris, Stirling University. Katie Rose, Wonder Bass, Hearts, Alice Mackey, East Lothian, Grace Courtney, Dundee City Aquatics, Andrea Cox, City Glasgow B, Georgia Reid, and Highland Swim Team, Ciara Bain.
Well, I think the City of Glasgow have got Drew Mackenzie on the last leg as well, so that's a really strong team. I'm not sure they'll be caught. Maddie Robertson,
pretty useful.
More a 2 and 4 free swimmer though than a 100, but even so she's going to be pretty speedy, and of course we don't see her in any of the other events because she's 19, so not eligible for any of the individual events, but it looks to be between these 3 teams, doesn't it? City of Glasgow, University of Stirling and the Warrington Baths Club. Katie Rose, it's Natasha Simpson goes in for Warrington Baths on the last leg.
Pretty well to hang on to 3rd place. But Stella McCarty's dug in pretty well here, and she's going to give a handy lead over to Drew Mackenzie, who's obviously got an adjusted swimsuit on now. So Drew Mackenzie has nice wee advantage.
Some pretty tight takeovers there. I think from these senior swimmers, the small margins make a difference if you want them to qualify for the British Summer Championships. But it's City of Glasgow, I think, with this one in the bag. Sterling University in second place. Warren de Bath Club being rapidly caught by the swimmers in lane 3. That's University of Aberdeen Performance Swim Team. Gaia Alcaraz in the water for them. Again, another purely relay swimmer because she's too old to swim in the individual events. But City of Glasgow now, their lead about 15 metres.
Natasha Simpson's doing her very best to hang on, and she might just hang on for third place, but no doubt about it. City Glasgow taking that, Stirling University in second. The Wonder Bass are actually going to get third, Lynn. Natasha Simpson does enough to hold on. 31.08, she came back virtually identical time to Aberdeen Performance, with Hearts in 5th.
Quite a big win there, though, for City of Glasgow. You know, I mean,
that is a big
4
win.
seconds. Unexpected, I would say. They're just outside their entry time. So.
The University of Stirling way off their entry time.
Well, that was and unfortunately a technical infraction there for the team from Warren de Bath. It did look like a tight tape, I have to say.
So that then promotes University of Aberdeen Performance into the bronze medal position. Always sad to be disqualified when you're in a medal position, Lynn, but it's just the way it goes.
It's a shame under any circumstances, isn't it? But it's particularly when you've fought so hard to keep a hold onto it. Onto the boys. So in the 14 to 16 year age group of the 4x100 metres medley relay, we have 3 heats.
First B, Ben Waddle in lane 0. East Lothian B, Declan Kay. Inverclyde, Scott Brodie. Geary, Oscar Chirnside. Swimmers Lothian, Cal Muirhead. Dundee City Aquatics, Gavin Aitchison. Highland Swim Team, Jed Armitage. Belsill Sharks, Heath Collins. Highland Swim Team B, Aidan Williamson. That, we don't have a lane 9. 8 teams go in this one.
Best start in lane 1, that's the team from East Lothian. Declan Kay goes for them. Also going well in 4, that's the Swim West Lothian team. Carl Muirhead leading them off. And Carl Muirhead just moving through now into the lead. Opened up a body length over the second 25 of that first length, 31.14 for Swim West Lothian at the turn. 2.5 ahead of Highland Swim Team, who moved through into second place there, but a whole host of swimmers all in a line, perhaps in 6 and 7. It's 5 and 6, isn't it?
Might just be
Highland Swim Team and Belsill Sharks.
And Belsill Sharks, yes. I think it's maybe just maybe the Highland Swim Team. Coming through quite strongly in 3 is Gary Lynn. He's going to turn in second. So running through first have Samuel Beetham, East Lothian, Joel Begg, Inverclyde, Luke Garrity, Gary with Fergus Reid, West Lothian, Daniel Hay, Dundee City Aquatics, Corey Phillip, Highland Swim A, Tom Armitage, Belsill with Aidan Nixon, and the B Highland team, Lewis Butt.
Yeah, nice swim from Oscar Churns. I will point out that he's watched him swim the 200 fly, the 400 free, and then putting in a strong backstroke leg for Geary in the medley relay. But it's Swim West Lothian out in front just now with Daniel Hay. And Daniel Hay looking good over in second place. That's the Highland Swim Team, Tom Armitage. Again, another busy boy.
Belsill in third. It's all pretty close, third, fourth, fifth, and on the near side, Samuel Beetham for first, trying to get them into the mix as well.
And the field is closing up on our leader, isn't it? Daniel Hay. He's going to have to fight off Tom Armitage as we come in towards the end of this breaststroke. I do feel for these 14-year-old swimmers, you know, and Geary's swimmer is Fergus Reid. He'll be here this afternoon. He'll probably be here tonight as well. That's a long day. It's only the 14-year-old swimmers that have that because of the relays taking place in the morning.
That's right, Lynn.
There's not that many of them.
Not many, but it is quite a demand to come swim, and then a wee swim before they get underway again. So
Yep, Callum Sinclair looking good out in front though for Swim West Lothian. So he takes on the fly leg in lane 2. We've got the team from Inverclyde. Archie MacArthur goes in the water for them. And it's Dundee City Aquatics, Kane Buchanan. Again, he's been busy this morning, hasn't he? So that's the top 3. Moving through in lane 0, the team from Falkirk Integrated Regional. It's Ewan McMahon in the water for them.
still looks pretty good for Swim West Lothian here.
Yeah, Peary fighting back as well in the water for them. It's James Boddy.
Archie MacArthur has really ripped everybody apart here and got into second place. Cracking swim from Archie. But West Lothian look as though they've got this one pretty well wrapped up now. Inverclyde, so only through Keir Campbell, Alex Taylor for East Lothian, Inverclyde, Keir, Melrose, Geary, Nathan Geddy, Swim West Lothian, Stanislav Hustoff, DCA with Dylan McPhail, Highland Swim, Sean Kahn, Bellshill, Alex Cumming, and the B Highland team, Edward Mills.
Yeah, the battle's really on for second now between Inverclyde and Geary. Pretty neck and neck, but I think the Geary swimmer's going to take it because he was just a little bit behind. It's Nathan Geddy.
Yeah.
He's just moved ahead of Kermel Rose, and I think Geary are going to get the second place. Swim West Lothian, clear winners of this first heat, led from start to finish. So that's the team, Callum Muirhead, Daniel Hay, Callum Sinclair and Stanislav Herstoff. Herstoff just holding on for their win at the finish, but it's a win nonetheless for the team from West Lothian. 4:30.78, Geary in second, 4:32.64, and a couple of seconds back from them, Inverclyde, 4:34.71.
So second of the 3 heats, Step Rock.
I think we have a
Another
technical
one?
infraction in lane 0.
We do indeed, Lynn. So, I'll give you the various lanes for this one. Step Rock and 0, Rowan Geary. First day, Jake Ferguson. Mulgambersden, Rory Hall. South Lanarkshire, Thomas Traynor, Ren 96. Adam Scott. Stirling with Fraser Van der Molen. Scotia with Jack Docherty-Simpson. City Glasgow B with Kyle Mossman. University of Aberdeen Performance B team Greg Hall, and Money Fief with Liam Gorzinski. And this will be Money Fief's first medley relay for the boys. They had a mixed one yesterday.
Love it.
Good to see.
Yeah,
good to see these wee clubs being able to field a team at last. Some of them will say this is very much a first for Money Fief. So good luck to them over on that far side. And the mixed one, they front loaded it with the 2 boys and went out really fast, and they did well to finish 5th overall from an outside lane. So
I think we could get some surprise medalists from this heat here. We've got Ren 96 in lane 4.
we've still got another heat, Lynn.
Oh, I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Sterling Swimmer in lane 5. I mean, we've got some really strong teams in this, only our second heat. So
their in team are a pretty useful team, Lynn. But,
Adam Scott leading them off.
We have Scotia going off pretty well. Jack Docherty-Simpson. Ren 96 though, and Money Fief.
Claudia Singh taking out Scotia in 6. Was he City of Glasgow before?
No. Always been Scotia.
Always Scotia.
Liam Gorzinski, backstroke specialist for Money Fief over on the far side, going nicely, along with Adam Scott, a very useful backstroke swimmer as well. But it's advantage with Jack Docherty-Simpson. Good length for him. Match. So running through Step Rock, we'll have Sam Cool, Aidan McCavish for first. M&B, Cam MacArthur, South Lanarkshire, Craig Shaw, Wren, Harry Keogh, Stirling, Adam Hill. Scotia, Matt Watchhorn. City Glasgow B, Gregor Ross. Aberdeen Performance, Ben Payton and Lewis Brander from Montefief. Lewis Brander going pretty well over on that far side, keeping Montefief in the mix here. But still advantage with Scotia, Montefief and Wren, with South Lanarkshire making a move with Craig Shaw.
Yeah, well, I mean, Scotia well out in front there now, really, aren't they? And the Montefief team, as you say, we didn't mention them in the lead in. We were talking about Wren 96 and talking about Sterling Swim, but well, still very strong over in lane 6. In the water, it's Mark Watchorn. So still between the two of them, so yeah. Mark Watchorn and Ross, no, it's Lewis Brander in the water, isn't it, from Montefief?
Yeah. So running through the third leg, Step Rock, Fraser Stewart, Cameron Guilford first, Mulgine Bearsden, Fraser Donaldson, South Lanarkshire, Dean Bergatti, Wren with Tom Jeffers, Stirling with Logan Van der Molen, Scotia with Iglatvia Singh, City Glasgow B, Callum McLaughlin, Aberdeen Performance B, Logan Scally, and Montefief, Matthew Pogorzellik. Can Matthew Pogorzellik keep the butterfly going for Montefief and at least give him half a chance of getting in that top 3?
Dean Bargatti making a move for South Lanarkshire in lane 3. I mean, that's the fastest split over 50.
Yeah, Dean Bargatti, a really gutsy swimmer, gives it everything in the pool. Swims for Hamilton Baths, representing South Lanarkshire today, and he's giving it everything down this stretch. Still Scotia doing pretty well, still in first place. Stirling coming through to third, Wren in maybe fourth with Mulgine Bearsden. So last swimmers, Fitchgear of Step Rock, first Rory Calvert, M&B, Ben King, South Lanarkshire, Ewan Mitchell, Wren, Magnus Morris, Stirling, Lachlan Small, Scotia, Jimmy Lynn, City Glasgow, Marcus Blake, University of Aberdeen, Greg Simpson, Montefief, Ross Hutchison.
Scotia hanging on there. They are being caught by South Lanarkshire, though. Ewan Mitchell in the water for them. The advantage now just over a second. Mighty close. Wren 96 decide to make a move, and Stirling's win.
Here comes Wren and Stirling to make a challenge, but it's South Lanarkshire hit the front as Scotia drop back. It's South Lanarkshire, and they're going to take this, I think, Len. South Lanarkshire, Wren 96, and Mulgine Bearsden with a late surge. South Lanarkshire are going to hold on, or are they? South Lanarkshire, it's very tight. Wren and Stirling. What a finish, Len. 4:21.16, 4:21.57, 4:21.69. Mulgine Bearsden just dropping out of that medal. Well, that top 3 was that medal. It's second fastest heat, 4:22.01. What a fantastic finish, Lynn. I've just about got my breath back, and I've got another one to go.
That was quite true to the entry times, those swims. South Lanarkshire exceeding expectations, perhaps. The centre 2 lanes just performing on their best times. I guess it gets harder when you've got the individual sexes.
How you doing, alright?
Yeah.
So when you've got the individual sexes, you need to have that greater depth in order to be able to put out a strong field of 4 swimmers. So we didn't quite manage to see that with the Wren 96 teams, and I think you're right. I think the medalists are going to come from the final heat.
I think so, but you almost feel these guys deserve a medal for that last race. Well done, fellas, for giving us a really exciting second heat. On to heat number 3, East Lothian, Conor Aspinall, Carnegie, Nathan Wilson, Aberdeen Performance, Logan Jackson. That's 0, 1 and 2. 3, Perth with Carl McKenzie, Wander with Robbie Boyden 4. 5, Aberdeen Dolphins, Dean Fern. 6, City Glasgow, David Landman. 7, Dumfries, Luke Scott. Wander's B team in 8, Manu Drysdale, and South Ayrshire in 9, Benji Jeffries. And Wander in this one. Can they come home again and take the 14-6-0. The good start again in lane 5. No real surprise, Dean Fernland. He'll give them a big lead, I'm sure, after the first 100. Warner going well over on the far side. Benji Jeffries for South Ayrshire doing pretty well on this near side. It's pretty tight between Carnegie, University of Aberdeen and Perth. That advantage, as you'd expect, Lynn, with the Dolphins.
Yeah, so just over 2 seconds the advantage at halfway that Dean Fern's got over Robbie Boyd in second place. But these two quite clear of the rest of the field, maybe getting the best of that rest, if you like. The rest seems a bit unfair, but it's the University of Aberdeen performance. Logan Jackson, perhaps better as a 200 backstroker, but turning in a pretty good 100 backstroke here. Third place just now for the University of Aberdeen, but taking over from Dean Fern, it's Connor Christophorus. He's got a mean 100 breaststroke under his belt as well. Into the water he goes for Aberdeen Dolphins. Connor
Mitchell for Wanda, yeah. And the others, Finlay Brown, East Lothian, Jaden Chan, Carnegie, Cameron Hastings, University of Aberdeen, Fraser Dow, Perth, Steady Glasgow, Royce Cringellis, Rory Webster, Dumfries, Wanders B, Dylan Mitchell and Lewis Gibson for South Ayrshire.
Yeah, so Connor Christophorus, just 15, as is Cameron Hastings, the University of... They're used to battling against each other. Cameron Hastings, dice swimmer, representing University of Aberdeen here and swimming the breaststroke leg. But it's that 16-year-old swimmer, Connor Mitchell, from Warren de Bards Club, just easing on through there, putting them out in front as we come towards halfway. Really strong swim there, Connor Mitchell, Warren de Bards Club on the breaststroke leg. He's got James Burnett following. This is a really strong Warren de Bards team.
This looks pretty good for Wander now. So Wander with James Burnett and Aberdeen Dolphins with Callum Gold. The other teams, Ross Anderson, East Lothian, Carnegie, Calder Murphy, Aberdeen Performance, Luke Johnston, Perth, Jensen Norris, City Glasgow, Kai Connolly, Dumfries, Finlay Nelson, Wander B with Ishmael Shalaby and Fraser Cowie for South Ayrshire.
Yeah, Kai Connolly in the water for City of Glasgow, and he took over in third place, just ahead of the University of Aberdeen team. But he's eased ahead there, about a couple of metres now clear of the swimmers in fourth place now. Warren de Bards Club, though, well out in front. Aberdeen Dolphins in the water for them, it's Callum Gold, a very decent fly swimmer, but I don't think he's a match for James Burnett. He's taking Warren de Bards even further ahead. Real battle on for third place. City of Glasgow just getting the better at the moment. In for University of Aberdeen, it's Lucas Johnson. Between these two, they're having a real ding-dong down this fly leg with just the freestyle to go. Warren de Bards already on that freestyle leg though, and their gap about 20 metres.
Indeed. So just recapping, Zach Slater, East Lothian, Lewis Muir, Carnegie, Dan Hall, Aberdeen Performance, Perth, Evan Davison, Wander, Harry Sharp, Aberdeen Dolphins, Archie Smith, City Glasgow, Finlay Tang, Dumfries, Rhys Edwards, Wander B, Rory Stobby and South Ayrshire, Adam Thompson. But Wander already down the way while a lot of teams are still going up.
Yeah, Harry Sharp swimming well there. Archie Smith doing a really good job for Aberdeen Dolphins. I think he's closed the gap from about 20 metres to maybe 18. It's Warren de Bards Club, isn't it, all the way?
Well, Wander Bass have destroyed this one. Aberdeen Dolphins are going to get second and third place. It looks to be Perth City Lynn with Evan Davison flying at the death.
Well, that must have been super. We didn't get that on the camera shot and didn't see it in the pool either. Aberdeen Dolphins in second, 4:12.15. Perth City, as you say, Evan Davidson coming through there, 4:13.01, and just heard it announced in the hall. That's a Scottish junior record for from Warren de Bards Club. So well done, Robbie Boyd, Connor Mitchell, James Burnett, and Harry Sharp. 4:01.07, really fast time.
A really fast time, Lynn. 4:05.07, and they took 4 seconds off that entry time, which is a big drop.
Took it out like they meant it, didn't they? Really, right from the very off. I mean, Dean Fern to chase down after the backstroke, but as a team, clear winners.
And we still have some more relays to finish with. This is the boys 17 over medley relay. 3 go in the first heat. Highland swim team in lane 3. Bailey Urquhart, South Lanarkshire with Ethan Stewart, and Elgin with Lucas Brown.
Some more points in the bag for Perth as well. I was still on the last race. We're on the 17 and
Yeah.
now.
Just 2 teams. Elgin not represented in this one.
South Lanarkshire in 4. Swimmers leading
We have 9 going in the last one, hopefully, Lynn.
Ethan Stewart from South
Same as the girls, actually, wasn't it? 2 and then
It
9.
was, yeah.
About 4.5 seconds faster. We'll see how it works.
So the Highland swim team
The early lead.
That's South
will
Lanarkshire.
do well. Will do well to try and keep in touch. Ethan Stewart, a very useful backstroker. Another swimmer who represents Hamilton Baths. And of course, all these clubs in South Lanarkshire come together, as they always do for national events. Just let you know who those clubs are. They are Lanark, Hall Avondale, Hamilton Baths, Rutherglen, and East Kilbride.
Yeah, all the swimmers from South Lanarkshire are 17, so as young as they can be to get through
Yeah.
to this. So it tends to be the university teams with the older swimmers. But no, they're doing a good job out there. It's Robbie Carlisle on the breaststroke leg for South Lanarkshire. Jacob Duncan goes in the water for Highland swim team.
So is Robbie.
A mere boy at 24.
Just a wee toot.
So it was about 7 seconds and the takeovers.
They have another couple of swimmers, 17, 18 to follow.
It's still around 7 seconds.
But it's good that the 17 overs, the Highland swim team are able to put in slightly older swimmers if required, to at least give some of the younger, well, dare say, I'm not saying the younger swimmers, the other 17, 18-year-olds an opportunity to swim if they don't have 4 swimmers in that 17, 18-year-old category. So this is one of the benefits, I suppose, of having this at Snags.
Jacob Duncan's still a very
Yeah.
active swimmer
Yeah.
in the North District. We see him at most of our age group meets. I love seeing the older swimmers coming in, and at 24 doesn't seem like an older swimmer. We do actually manage to get some master swimmers in our age group
Yes.
championships as well. I think it's really healthy for the younger swimmers
Yeah,
to know
yeah,
that
yeah.
it's not something that you have to stop when you leave school. You can carry on through into university. So we've got the University of Aberdeen Performance Swim Team fielding their older swimmers, but we've also got some on the more rural clubs as well.
Yeah. Certainly the Dolphins have always had some slightly older swimmers, swimmers that are 19, 20 and plus competing.
Some of them are ancient.
Yes, well, I'd rather you said that than I did, Lynn, but yes, they've always competed at the North Districts.
Yes, I mean we've got the Masters Championships, Scottish Masters Championships down at Toll Cross next week, and I know that Silver City Blues have got a very healthy team attending from the North District, and Aberdeen Dolphins too. They're on to the final leg then, freestyle. South Lanarkshire out in front, like they have been from the beginning. Scott Fleming it was that swam that fly leg, and he's handed over to Jack Simpson. Like I say, the full 17-year-old going in this.
It was Lewis Austin for the Highland swim team on that butterfly, Alexander Stewart on the freestyle.
So final turn 3:41 South Lanarkshire.
So nicely done.
7 for Highland, so 6.5 seconds.
Well done to keep the concentration. I think really
Winner here.
it's a shame when there's just two teams in the water. But South
Lanarkshire done pretty well. Entry time of 4:09.76, and they're going to come in very much on that time, Lynn. So that's pretty good, given that, as you say, there are only the 2 teams. The Highland swim team just a little bit over their entry time, but only a few seconds. Well done, lads.
So well done, the team from South Lanarkshire. They've set the target time for the second and final heat. And in fact, it's the final heat of the morning.
It's final heat of the morning, Lynn, yep. In lane 0 from Stirling, Greer van der Mullen. City of Glasgow B with Michael Flynn. Aberdeen Dolphins, Andrew Bodie. City of Glasgow A team, Robert Burgess. Aberdeen Performance, Jamie Ferguson. University of Stirling, Tony Joe Trent Oliver. Wander with Finn Bremner. East Lothian with Owen Williamson, and University of Aberdeen B, Calvin McDonald. So that's lane 0 through to 8.
Yeah, interesting entry times here. 3:50.75 is the fastest entry time. It's the team from University of Aberdeen Performance. University of Stirling entered on a slower entry time, but looking at their team, I fancy they might go under that. That's a very strong team that they fielded. May not have known who it was that was going to be available to swim for them at the time they entered, but having said that, it is lane 4 taking them out there. Jamie Ferguson.
Yeah, swimmer originally from Midlothian, Lynn. Ali and I were talking about some of the good things Colin Barton does with a very limited resource of swimmers, and he produced some pretty good ones. He had some useful ones in the pool last night.
The transition to the University of Aberdeen team, though, has obviously worked very well for Jamie Ferguson. He's come on and some. It's good to see. It doesn't suit everybody straight away. Sometimes that transition takes a little bit of time. But Jamie Robertson, it's obviously suited very well, and he's handed over a fairly hefty lead of a second and 3/4 to his teammate Conor Massey. Backstroke, I'm sure that he was.
Yeah, he was an excellent backstroker at City Glasgow many years ago.
And yet he's turned in some very decent.
A very good breaststroker as well. Yep, he has indeed. Stirling with Ben Montgomery, Matthew Garrity, City Glasgow B, Aberdeen Dolphins, Finlay Wallace, City Glasgow A, Yusuf Batouf. Aberdeen Performance is Conor Massey, University of Stirling, Rory Dixon. Wander with Mika van Blerk, East Lothian, Luke Hornsey, and Aberdeen B with Jack Mitchell.
Yeah, Yusuf looks like he should have tucked his hair into his cap, I think, but he's a very fast 50 and 100 metres breaststroker. But having said that, look at Rory Dixon go for University of Stirling in lane 5. He's had a really good season, actually, hasn't he? He did really well down.
Come on,
British
pretty well, Rory.
Another one that the transition to university has worked for at University of Stirling.
So onto the butterfly. Murray Dixon for Stirling, Robson Mills, City Glasgow B, Aberdeen Dolphins, Tom Robertson, City Glasgow A, Aidan Kay, University of Aberdeen, Kieran Lennox, University of Stirling, Andrew Batoli, Wander, Brodie Gordon Gibson, East Lothian, Stephen Kravitz, and Jake Gibson for Aberdeen B.
Yeah, so Kieran set a national record in the 50 last night, but he's on the younger end of this team. Well, like I say, Andrew Patoli going in there for the University of Stirling. Got to fancy that he's going to be able to stay ahead of Kieran. 50, really strong 50 from Kieran, but his 100 really coming on. In the water for City of Glasgow, Aidan Kay. Perhaps just catching Kieran. Don't think he is going to catch him, and then it's going to be pretty much of a muchness on the freestyle at the end.
You expect that. Yeah. Jack Munsey will go in for Stirling team. So Stirling with Nathan Campbell, City Glasgow B, Leo Lawler, Aberdeen Dolphins, Finlay Club, City Glasgow, Rory McKinnon, Aberdeen Performance A, Cameron Travis, University of Stirling with Jack Munsey, Wander with Cyril Gulen, East Lothian, Callum Peebles, and University of Aberdeen B with Leighton Burr.
Yeah, that was a pretty sharp takeover there from Jack Munsey. We're more used to seeing Jack swimming in the longer distance events, but he's got a pretty fast turn of pace on the 100 as well. Still in second place, it's the University of Aberdeen. Cameron Travis in the water for him again. Used to seeing him swim longer distances. Swimming City of Glasgow doing their best to catch up. It's Rory McKinnon in the water for them, but he's not going to catch them. Jack Munsey is going to bring the team from the University of Stirling home first, 3:50.2. So well inside, in fact not well inside their entry time, but a second inside their entry time. Second home it was the University of Aberdeen performance, 3:53.24, and City of Glasgow in third, Warrington Baths in fourth place. So we just need to see the race finish and hope that everybody was fine. Unfortunately, a technical infraction there, University of Aberdeen performance.
Both University of Aberdeen, both teams, yeah. So that promotes Warner Baths into third place, City Glasgow second, and as you saw, the winners of that one, University of Stirling.
We don't know what that was.
No.
I mean, the
Could be
teams
anything.
the teams looked as though they were the teams that we could see on the sheet. So it's either going to be a stroke infraction or probably more likely
probably
a
a
takeover.
However, we'll wait and see what develops. His presentation's coming up very shortly, Lynn. Those of you stay with us for those presentations. As you can see, we've got some of the highlights of this morning, or I suspect it's this morning. Breaststroke butterfly. So it's medal time.
Heidi Wren, Lucy Nimmo, Rosie Liston, Louise Carroll.
And it looks like the medals here are being presented by Alison Lowe. Alison here as a coach for the team from Aberdeen. Also a past president or a former president of the Scottish Amateur Swimming Association.
Just quickly run through those for you, Lynn. City Glasgow 8 were the bronze medalists: Heidi Wren, Lucy Nimmo, Rosie Liston, Louise Connell. The Stirling team: Coco Croxford, Perry Scobie, Eva Gordon and Susie McNair are now getting presented with their silver medalists, and our gold medalists and Scottish National Age Group champions in that 4 to 16 medley relay. They are Rosie Foster, Maya Rogers, Kiana Kurtzer and Ashley Drake. So, well done, ladies. That was a very exciting finish for second and third, Lynn, but Wanda well clear in that very first relay that we had this morning. So that's the first of the 4 presentations.
Finalists, medal winners.
So next up we will have the 17 and over girls in the 4x100 metres medley relay. Again, medals to be presented by Alison Lowe. And the bronze medalists there are the team from University of Aberdeen Performance. And the team made up from Mary Wood, Kaylin Hall, Yasmin Perry, and Gaia Alcaraz. And the silver medalists are the team from University of Stirling. And that team made up from Scarlett Ferris, Vicky Russell, Kira Morris and Maddie Robertson. So the gold medalists and the Scottish National Age Group champions are the team from the City of Glasgow. That's the A team, and that's made up of Amy Shields, Amy McLeod, Stella McCarty and Drew Mackenzie. So well done to the team from the City of Glasgow. Well done all the teams, but City of Glasgow, our Scottish National Age Group champions for 2023. Get selfies. Looking delighted with that. So we've got a couple more medal presentations to go before the session concludes.
Sorry, it's 14, 16. Yeah, so they have to do 16. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, me too. Afraid not thinking.
Lots of photos. So again, quite a long session. We had a short delay, didn't we?
We had a very short delay, Lynn. It's been a very long session again this morning. All the sessions are pretty long, Lynn, to be fair. Just the amount of swimmers that have managed to qualify. We've had, in some cases, 10 heats. It's great to see.
It is good to see, but we'll be on with the warm-up for the younger swimmers before we know it.
Yeah.
So next up we've got the boys 14 to 16 years 4x100 metres medal presentation.
And the bronze medalist is the team from Perth City.
So that super fast finish there from Evan Davidson saw the team from Perth City win the bronze medal. That's Callum Mackenzie, Fraser Dow, Jensen Norris and Evan Davidson. So well done the team from Perth, Callum, Fraser, Jensen and Evan.
Aberdeen Dolphins.
The silver medal winners are the team from Aberdeen Dolphins, and the team comprises Dean Fern, Connor Christophorus, Callum Gold and Archie Smith.
Archie Smith. And the gold medalists.
So well done the team from Aberdeen Dolphins.
And a new
Our
Scottish
gold
junior
medalists.
national and club record, Warren May.
Our gold medalists and Scottish national age group champions in that new junior age group record. It's the team from Warren Baths Club. The team is Robbie Boyd, Connor Mitchell, James Burnett and Harry Sharp.
That time, Lynn, 4:01:07. Just if anyone wants to take a wee note of it, that's the new time for anyone to beat in future. Well done, lads.
So junior in Scotland being aged under 17 at the 31st of December, and all of those swimmers were, because they were 16 and 15. Well done the team from Warren Baths.
Yep. So last presentation is the 17 and over 4x100 medley relay. As we said earlier, this is a potential qualifier for the British. Bronze medalists are Warren Baths, they are Finn Bremner, Mika van Blurk, Brodie Gordon Gibson and Cedar Gulan.
Brodie Gordon Gibson and Cedar Gulan.
Silver medalists are the team from City of Glasgow. That's Robert Burgess, Yusuf Batouf, Aidan Kay and Rory McKinnon.
They look pretty pleased with that.
They are, I think they should be, yeah. And Scottish national champions in that medley. Team from University of Stirling, Tony Joe Trent Oliver, Rory Dixon, Andrew Bertoli and Jack Mincy. As Lynn said, Alison Lowe, our past president of SASA, doing those presentations. So that's it for session 4. Thank you very much for joining Lynn Alwerton and myself, Robert Taylor. We're back here, as you can see, at 13:35, so if you're able to join us, please do so. Look forward to being with you in about an hour's time.